Are we live already?
No.
Oh, I was
Okay.
wielding the rings as you were going live.
Oh, now we're live. Yes, now. Nice. Dang, no preamble. Shit.
Well,
This is the earliest we've been live? It's not even 9:15 yet.
I've been here for hours. I don't know where I was the first one here.
the
Oh,
point
pretty
being, we should go live when I set the stream
What time you said the stream for today?
9 p.m.
Oh, wow.
every time.
We keep our viewers on anticipation.
Exactly.
That's why we don't have them. Because we're liars.
Oh, that's why.
Lies.
That's
Because
why.
we're liars.
15 minutes, like, fuck it. Dislike.
Not even. They'll just be like, are they going to do anything? No? Well, fuck it. YouTube is so oversaturated, they'll find anyone else.
Wow.
Struggle's real.
It'd be real out there.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 50. Episode 50 of My Cup of Tea. This is, like, do the math of, like, average 2 hours a show. That's, like, 100 hours, like, well over 4 straight days of content that we've made for My Cup of Tea. That's a lot.
Wow. I mean, yeah, it all did start with our good old boy Spike Lee and what was the movie? Not Do the Right Thing. What was the movie that came out last year that we did a review for? Defy Bloods. I was like, starts with the D.
Old boy. But joining us, we have Evan.
Yeah, glad to be here. A busy day. Went from waking up around 7 a.m. For school, getting out of work around 4, coming home around 5, going to Red Lobsters, coming here, watching What If, being depressed, and now Nathan has me live on stream to talk about it. Woo! Let's do it.
And also joining us here to appropriate Chinese culture, we have Carson.
Panda Express and Gatorade. Look at this guy. Disgusting.
I know. Anywho,
I didn't mean
unlike my really bad meal of choice, it's now just cold and miserable. I'm going to praise this movie for all its authenticity, I think.
You don't know.
No, for real though. Like, and I've read some. When Marvel actually started tweeting the right people, the right critics, not Grace Randolph, I started reading some actual reviews of people who could attest to the Asian American experience, and I do think there's some great reviews, and this movie, I think, has some great stuff in it, and I can't wait to talk about it. And then we'll be depressed on What If, because, oh my god, I watched it yesterday, and I was just like, all right.
Yeah.
What now? The show's not even What If anymore. I'm just like, what now? What do I do?
Marvel's what now? Marvel's now what?
So are we
but
going to
yeah,
start off with What If or Shang-Chi? What are we doing? Shang-Chi.
I think Shang-Chi could go for quite a bit because it's a whole movie plot versus 2 30-minute shows.
So
We didn't review episode 3.
Yeah, we did have to do 3 and 4, so, which I feel like we could do fairly fast.
that's messed up. That's messed up.
What?
It's a good. That was a good episode.
What, episode 3 or 4?
3, both.
3, yeah, no, for sure. But I prefer 1 immensely.
Nathan's like,
it's good. It's good.
I know. Nathan's like, whenever I prefer one, let's skedaddle. A lot of do.a for this first one, and then
it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, Bad Batch like 9 through 14. Pretty good.
He tried to do the same shit with Bad Batch. He was like, oh yeah, this is the half finale. Like Nathan, there's 3 episodes. Come on.
I didn't do that. I didn't try to skip shit.
Yeah, Hera. Blah, blah, blah.
Heavier shit, man.
But the final scene, guys.
But y'all will fucking like put every fucking depression movie at your number 1 for some reason.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Next question.
I fucking will.
Which I'm doing for animation, so fight me. Anyway, if you like this banter,
Yes.
Talk about a man that's depressed.
Oh, it's pausing.
it's glitching.
Day to ask you for
Oh, no.
one thing.
Oh, the audio's off.
I think they got the message though.
Dang.
Yeah, all right.
It tried. It
Damn.
really.
I think they're trying to say
Damn.
subscribe and ring the bell. There
Good
we
enough.
go.
Good enough. Subscribe, ring the bell for this fucking glitchy chaos. See, if we poke fun at it, then it's not as unprofessional.
Go
Anyway.
watch Spider-Man 3, not sponsoring our podcast.
Hey, been the Spider-Man 3 stand since 2007.
Nice. You know the release date too. I was gonna get there. Yeah.
May 2007, yes. Year after The Last Stand. X-Men The Last Stand.
Jeez, what? Is that really the first reference of choice for you?
Well, that came out in 2006, yeah.
There was a lot of good shit in 2006. Hell, isn't Dead Man's Chest 2006 or World's End?
So.
One of them. First one or last one.
I think so. I think was it? Oh my god, really?
They really turned those Pirates of the Caribbean movies out like year after year. It was
I think
a time.
2007 was Pirates 3. Right?
Oh, okay. Nathan's gonna beat me on the movie release.
Cinema didn't start until 2008 with Iron Man, clearly.
Of course, according to Johnny Favs.
Back on Iron Man. Not back on Star Wars. Anyway, we got plenty of Marvel to talk about. We will kick off first with reviews of the last two What If episodes, starting off with episode 3. What if Earth lost its mightiest heroes? I think that's how it's pronounced.
Wow, that's a good title.
Spoilers ahead.
Yeah, spoilers for episode 3 and 4, What If, and Shang-Chi.
Speaking of spoilers, we should have like a spoiler Spider-Man video thing, or it's like a spoiler alert, and it's like, I don't know.
I'll just get like Tom Holland compilations. Spoiling.
That would be nice.
That'd be perfect. And Mark Ruffalo. But anyway,
we all die.
It's just Tom with the Avengers poster.
Oh yeah,
on his Instagram story, just like
it's gonna be Mark Ruffalo fumbling his live stream at Ragnarok. Like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But episode 3 took me quite a bit to get to. I was only like initially a couple days late to it before being more later. But dude, I was at work. And then my coworker was like, "Oh, you watched What If? Did you watch the new one?" And I was like, "Oh, not yet." And he was like, "Oh, I think you're gonna love it. Like, it starts off with Tony Stark dies." And I was like, "Fucking what? Hold on." I was like, "Oh, wait, no, fucking spoilers, dude."
I hate people like it. There's always that one guy. You're like, dude, what are you doing?
I don't
like,
give a damn if it was in the first 2 minutes.
Same.
No, and he told me it was a murder mystery, and I was like,
damn.
Anyway,
It's okay. He didn't spoil that Hulk goes boom boom.
no, fucking, I'm gonna get there.
That's okay. I don't know why, but that's like looking back now. That's like the imagery that's like stuck in my head. Is like Hulk's head being swallowed by the thing and just
blowing up.
It disturbed me. It was that's
It
horrible.
was like body horror, dude. It was like
it is. Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know what I was expecting going into episode 3. I can't remember the emotions I had going in. I think I was expecting, okay, this is gonna be the one where it's a riff on Iron Man 2 with him in the donut. I'm like, okay, I don't know where they were going with this. I did not expect a murder mystery at all. Like that was really surprising, especially when Black Widow kind of kills Iron Man. I'm like, oh, so this could be a Black Widow what if? But then it's like it's not. It twists. It turns it on its head there, and it turns into a murder mystery with all the Avengers dying one by one. That was shocking.
Yeah, it really is like Nick Fury is probably the main protagonist.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, we're going in time to, and like I know these movies like the back of my hand, so I'm going in and I'm just like, oh no, like Tony, shit, like, and I love thinking about the ramifications of like when it differs from the movies because I'm like, shit, fucking
everything.
Did Stark Expo still go on, or do they just fucking mourn him? Like, did the fucking hammer demonstration happens? Did fucking Whiplash still fucking do anything? I mean, Tony's dead, so his plan falls apart there. I was like trying to piece everything together.
The point where he's at the donut though, isn't that after the whole Stark Expo stuff?
That's after. No, it's before like all the hammer drones and stuff. It's right after Rhodey takes the suit, the War Machine suit.
Okay.
Which, you know, makes you like wonder how like the Avengers of the future of this universe would be, because, you know, Rhodey could still be assembled.
Rhodey can still be assembled. They have Captain Marvel. They tease Captain America, which is cool.
2 captains, that's dope.
Yeah.
Spider-Man later.
Oh my god, can we talk about Thor too? I loved how it was how they kind of he broke into the compound or whatever before. And he's like, oh yeah, he does have good hair. All the little jokes were good. There was an idea, and it's I wrote the speech. Damn it.
Coulson's so good when he's just he has nice hair. Fury's like, what? He's like, it's an accurate description. It's so good.
That was really cool because we got kind of a behind the scenes of the Thor scene where Hawkeye is getting ready, because in Thor all we see is Thor's perspective, of course. Then we see Hawkeye just hanging from a random thing, which is kind of weird.
It's also interesting that Fury's there because before he was tied up with Tony during Iron Man 2, but now events are going on.
Now he's here. We see the behind the scenes of everything going on, and then we see their perspective. It was really cool. I liked it.
Yeah, and it's weird because I was watching that sequence too where Hawkeye's up there and his arrow releases, but it happens in such a flash because it's a lightning storm, and I'm like, was there another arrow that went by? And I see his arrow's missing. And I was like, what do you mean you didn't shoot? What? I'm really trying to piece this together.
Me too, because I love a good murder mystery, and I'm always trying to be one step ahead. I'm always trying to piece everything together. And at that point, I'm okay, Iron Man, maybe these people are forcing these Avengers to kill people or something. Because I'm how do you lose an arrow without realizing? Did
you guys have a guess of who it was before we found out?
No.
Because my guess was Sitwell.
Who's that's the Hydra guy, right? With the bald Hydra guy?
Bald guy with glasses, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe it was this is Hydra taking a step up, I guess.
It could be. I was thinking of some kind of mind control. I was I don't know who could be. I was is this a WandaVision kind of thing where somebody's getting mind controlled or something they don't know about their own actions, maybe?
Part of me was also thinking maybe Loki got a jump start early on.
Oh, yeah, true. I was it could be Loki because the way he comes in towards the end of the episode, I'm we could see Loki here. But yeah, Thor was definitely crazy. I didn't really expect when Hawkeye launched his arrow at Thor. I'm it's kind of weird to see Hawkeye's arrows do damage to a god like Thor.
I think it went right through the heart.
And I forgot that at this moment, Thor lost his powers. So
exactly. So he's kind of a normal human dude.
I mean, they stabbed him with a syringe to knock him out. An arrow will do something.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that was dark.
Yeah, and then they lock up Hawkeye, and it's just damn, dude, how it was they're framing Black Widow and Hawkeye. This is gonna be interesting.
He's what did I do?
Right, and then Hawkeye's fucking, I never miss. I never fucking take the shot when I don't. Oh damn! And then he fucking dies, and I'm like,
what happened?
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot he dies.
He dies, and I'm like, he has a family,
dude. And then the reveal is even more twisted when we find out what it actually is.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was funny because Coulson was he took his life, and Nick Fury's he wouldn't do that. I was he has a family. I'm geez, this show is getting a lot darker than I expected. And then we go. But I just love how risky this show is. 3 and 4 especially have been very I did not expect this to be this dark.
And then we go to the events of the Incredible Hulk, and when I tell you, I cheered because I think it's underrated. I love the Incredible Hulk.
It's fun.
I really do. So when we went there and it's Natasha visiting Betty Brant, I was oh shit, it's not Liv Tyler, but it's fine.
Yeah, definitely not Liv Tyler. I could definitely tell off the bat. I was oh, so they couldn't get Liv Tyler.
Right. What's she doing?
Yeah, I know, right? She's so busy. I'm sorry, Liv. You probably are busy, but
they couldn't get William Hurt either, and I could tell.
And they didn't get Rachel McAdams either in episode 4.
No, they did.
That was Rachel McAdams?
Yeah. The whole Doctor Strange cast was back for that.
Really? Her voice was so different. I wonder why they did that.
McAdams, Tilda Swinton, Benedict Wong.
I knew that was Benedict and Tilda. Rachel's voice was so different. I wonder why they did it with that choice.
I didn't think it was different.
Really? It had a raspy voice to it.
Maybe because
getting old.
Maybe because I read in the opening credits Rachel McAdams. I was
I heard such a raspy voice from that character. I'm why are they doing this? But okay, sure. Maybe I haven't seen Doctor Strange in a minute. I mean, it's been what?
Didn't you do that watch party or something?
When was that watch party?
Me and Evan did.
That was a fun time. That was underrated.
That was really
underrated
good.
Watch party.
And we love Rachel McAdams and Benedict Cumberbatch in that.
She was really good in the movie. Yeah. Hopefully they don't waste her in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
I remember, dude. I got on Twitter and I see a bunch of people saying like, "Ah, it's so nice seeing Christine Palmer more interesting than the actual movie," and I was like, "Fuck you." I don't believe that.
I've been seeing a lot of hot takes of like, oh, it's nice to see that Doctor Strange is actually has a character arc this time. I'm like,
what are you guys
did you watch the
talking about?
movie?
Yeah.
I know, and I'm like, I don't know. I've always defended Doctor Strange a lot more than
Luke wouldn't do that.
Like it's a cliche arc, to be fair, but it's like
Right.
it is
It's Tony
there.
arc,
It's there. Yeah, it's like I mean when the movie came out, people are like, "Oh, it's like a it's like a mystical Iron Man thing." I'm like, ah.
I mean, that's how the comics were too.
Exactly, and I'm like, that's fair. That's a fair complaint, but I'm like, it is an arc, whether you like it or not. It is an arc.
And if anything, this What If episode validates that he did have an arc because it shows that obviously he wasn't self-serving the whole time to gain these powers. And he learned stuff because we see what the worst outcome would have been here, and clearly
hold on, we jumped episodes.
Oh yeah,
sorry.
But go back to Incredible Hulk. I did like, similar to Thor, where we got behind the scenes of like everything leading up to him trying to pick up the hammer. I liked seeing a bit of Incredible Hulk and a little bit of Betty Brant here. Brant, right? Weird name.
I think it's Betty Ross. I don't know.
Betty Ross.
Betty Brant is from the Spider-Man movie. She's
okay. Oh God. Oh man, Spider-Man in my brain. Yeah, but Betty Ross, she was good here. Granted, I don't like her that much in the Incredible Hulk movie, but I liked her a bit here. She was really good. I liked her back and forth with Black Widow.
And we finally get the revelation of like, what if they did the Incredible Hulk with Mark Ruffalo?
Oh, you're right.
That was definitely, that just looked like Mark Ruffalo, and it was him.
It was straight up Mark Ruffalo, and he's hiding. It was so cute. He was hiding in the
There's
cabinets.
no need for violence.
There's no need for violence.
His voice, like,
Black Widow. I'm like,
that's not Edward Norton at all.
That movie would have been so different, man.
No, it would. The mood.
I can't imagine. I guess I can't imagine Mark with Liv, but man, it would just be a weird movie. And now I see why Mark doesn't do that much like voice over animation, because his voice is so like. Well, I don't know. It's not the best for animation, but it worked.
Well, I think they've given Mark like a lot more humor recently, whereas like in the first Avengers movie, he was more serious a lot of the time.
Pretty serious. The humor only came in with like the reference to him being the Hawk. It's like, I'm always angry.
He was more like reserved, like
exactly reserved humor. Yeah. Now he's just like the comic relief guy, always cracking jokes.
Come on, big guy.
Something real low. Anyway.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, I like that. But yeah, then we get the gas canister scene, and it's weird because like as I'm watching, I was like, "Fucking Emil Blonsky's like supposed to be there at this point before he turns into Abomination."
Dang, with the first name, I had no idea who Emil Blonsky was for a second.
But said Hulk goes out so fast, they need to call him in.
I don't even know. I just thought I was watching a brand new thing. I didn't even know it was his name. Incredible Hulk.
That's terrible. And Carson's gone. I saw that coming.
What? It's like number 24 on my list. I don't know.
Gee, just 24 movies.
Okay, 23.
There we go.
Ant-Man and the Wasp is...
Damn! Wow!
Put some respect on the names.
Ant-Man and the Wasp at the last place. Over Iron Man 2?
Oh, wait, okay.
Iron Man 2 is good.
I can't... I mean, like, I do like the race car scene. Otherwise...
the race car scene.
In the hammer.
Yeah.
It's the best. I can't wait. It's the best. That alone should have got him best supporting actor. But... I'm too lazy to do my ranking on Letterboxd because it's like there's 24
Mine
movies
is private because everyone would hate me.
Whenever we do the commentaries is when I'll officially rank them.
I think I'll do that too because I'm too lazy to do 24 movies zigzag. Anyways, getting back to What If.
Hulk gets shot. Bruce gets shot, and I'm like, but I was like, fucking Hulk, it's fine.
Yeah, perfectly fine. Yeah,
we've been here. And then Sasha jumps out the window flawlessly. Such a poser.
That was really cool. The animation again, it goes without saying, but the animation in all 4 episodes so far, flawless. I love it so far.
Absolutely. And then it's fucking like we get the rampage, and I'm like, cool, Mark Ruffalo Hulk, let's go. And then he just starts swelling, and I'm like,
like, this isn't normal. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I'm like, oh no. Like it keeps bulging. I'm like, don't fucking
Gross!
pop.
Like, her voice was like, bros. I was like, this is crazy.
So
It
bad.
reminded me of the video games I used to play Uncharted all the time, and whenever Nate dies, like Elena would be like, "Oh God, Nate!"
Dude, that is
It's
needs to be
hilarious.
talked about more. That shit scarred me in Uncharted 2. You fall off one of those cliffs, and it's like, Nate! No!
Every time you fuck, the game's like every time you fuck up,
Dude, it's like
fucking-
searing. It's like you feel like you're dying with this
You
game.
made a fucking episode 4 variant.
and like the mid 2000s like character design, because it's like
Yeah.
obviously it's not like
But-
fully rendered when you're dying, and you're just like
Naughty Dog kills me. Same thing in Last of Us when Joel dies. Elliott's like, Joel, don't leave me alone. Like, oh my God. It's scary. But yeah, it was the same thing here where Betty is like, bros. I'm like, oh my God, this is depressing. I did not see that coming. It reminded me of the SpongeBob meme when when Squidward eats all the Krabby Patties. It goes to your thighs, and then you blow up. I'm like,
No, don't. I don't care how much humor you inject right now. It fucking was unsettling.
it was. So
Like,
was the SpongeBob
and they
thing.
showed it twice.
Oh yeah, because it's sort of the
They do a
beginning of
recap later.
the explanation. So was the culprit was he the one who fired the bullet at Hulk in the first place to get it all started?
yeah.
It might have been just him.
It might have just been a yeah.
They
I
have
think
to,
it shows it. I don't know. I can't remember.
They can because like they have like a whole training anime of like controlling your speed because you could be a fucking bullet if you want, but you don't want to kill people.
Mm-hmm.
You could.
Oh, you're right. You think he was a bullet, not the okay. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I think he launched himself.
But yeah, that scene was crazy. At the same time, though, we are getting a scene with the God of Mischief on the other end with Nick Fury.
With Coulson.
Or isn't it Nick Fury?
Coulson first.
Coulson first. Okay.
Then because Fury's dealing with
Wasn't he dealing with Loki at that time?
No, I
'Cause-
think he-
Because Black Widow
who was
calls
Coulson
him
with?
because he's like, we might need some backup, and Black Widow's like, well, I got trouble of my own here in at the college.
Yeah.
I don't know what Coulson's doing. Coulson's driving people.
That shit was scary in the
But, like,
college,
Coulson
by the
was
way.
there.
Where?
In the college when she's just sitting in the back, like on the internet, and then like,
Oh, at the after this.
yeah.
And then we
it's
get the
creepy.
fucking Sam Raimi camera.
Yeah. It was dark. I'm like, Black Widow, put some lights on. Damn. But
Oh, you know what it reminded me of is when in Harry Potter where it's like the POV of the snake
Yeah, I was about to say.
eating the
in Chamber.
Not Chamber.
no, it's in Deathly
No?
Hallows Part 1, I think, where he's having all those visions.
I think
Oh,
it was
visions
Order
of
Phoenix
the
with,
snake.
Of the snake.
Wasn't it Order of the Phoenix with Ron's dad?
Oh, yeah, because doesn't he get hurt? Yeah, it is Order of the Phoenix.
Sure.
It is Order of the Phoenix. You're right.
Sure.
The blue one.
One of the Yates.
Yeah. One of the Yates. The blue tinted Yate movie. That one.
Anyways.
But yeah, at that point, we're skipping over to Black Widow on the computer. When she was getting her butt kicked, I'm like, wait, so is this guy invisible and just beating up on Black Widow? How? Who can possibly like toss her around, throw her into the air? I'm like, this has to be Wanda, right? Like, this has to be some kind of like telekinesis thing going on.
Wanda doesn't have her like unlocked powers yet.
True, but I had no idea. I was like, this is a multiverse thing. I have no idea. It was just very interesting. I did not know. Yeah, I had no clue.
Well, it's interesting because really, like the what if point of that like things start to differ isn't necessarily like Tony's death. It shows like when she's researched on the computer, Hope, who was actually a Shield agent in this timeline,
That was
killed in
it.
action. I think I saw like some people were digging Easter egg wise that maybe she was killed by Bucky.
Oh, I forgot about that Easter egg. Apparently, people did say like somehow it was confirmed that Bucky killed her. I don't know what frame that was from, but
Right.
people said that was in the episode.
Which is wild. Initially it said. Well, initially on the computer it said Janet. But I mean, there's like a path of like knowing how that goes down. But the focus is on hope, so I think that's anyway. It doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah, we're researching. We're trying to figure out what's up. And as soon as they say it's all about hope, I'm like, okay, so. Well, at first I was like, is Hope the villain? I was like, I wasn't thinking about it. But no, it's like Hope is a fallen Shield agent.
It was funny as soon as he said Hope, I was like, oh, Hope Van Dyne. But out loud, I said Hope Van Dyne, but in my head, I was still thinking of Michelle Pfeiffer. I was like, Hope, but isn't Hope already supposed to be dead at this point? Why does it matter? I was like, oh wait, no, this is the dog. This is the girl from Lost.
Meanwhile, my dumbass with Ant-Man lore doesn't know any of the connections, and so I'm like, rebellions are built on hope. I'm like, is it like a metaphor?
You thought it was actual hope.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Which I know that's the point of the misdirect for the audience. But
Yeah.
in my brain, I'm like, nah, fucking, I know who that is.
Yeah. Oh, I ate that shit up because I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this is.
I instantly went Hope Van Dyne. I was like, Hope Van Dyne, but then I thought of Janet Van Dyne. I should have been thinking of Evangeline Lilly.
But
yeah.
But yeah, let's also discuss like Loki did arrive, and he's arriving and he's invading Earth early, pre Thanos connection as well, because this is before Loki like discards himself off into
before
space.
he dies. Yeah,
right. So there's no like real connection there anyway. Which also means he doesn't have the scepter of the Mind Stone, which is interesting.
Nope.
But he has the entire Asgardian army and Sif and the Warriors 3 by his side, coming to invade Earth.
Which going off of like having watched all 6 episodes of Loki, it was very interesting seeing another version of Loki, another variant come to Earth here, and I kind of like, now that I like Loki a lot more as a character, I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. Like he's actually avenging his brother's death, because like. People are always like, do you really care for Thor? Like, he did care for Thor. He actually invaded Earth right now in this episode because he cared for Thor. And wants to kill everybody.
Asgard behind that too, which is
cool. I like
probably
that
a smarter play than his OG plan.
Oh yeah,
very fair. Yeah.
And in my brain, I'm probably thinking like maybe Odin doesn't wake up in this timeline because like
true. Wait, like where was Odin? Yeah,
because it was like really like Thor's redemption. In his like, hubris that like really got. I think, but I mean, obviously Odin is still like self-aware of like the world, but I don't think he can like physically come back, which is interesting.
Thor 2, another movie that's not as great as Ant-Man and the Wasp, Carson.
But Endgame will make you revisit it.
I think I have it over Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Wow. What's the main villain in Thor 2 called, Carson?
I know.
I can't tell you.
Evan.
Nope.
I'm fucking Hermione next to Harry. That's Snape.
Carson, that's why it's so forgettable. He's a terrible villain compared to Ant-Man and the Wasp. At least Ant-Man and the Wasp has Ghost.
His name is Matt.
I couldn't tell you anything about her. She didn't speak the entire movie.
Yes, she did. What the fuck? So many lines.
She was good.
What are you talking about?
She just was a glitch effect and did nothing.
She's a victim.
Yeah, Carson's gonna have that second watch and be like, you know what, guys, this is a good movie.
Which we always fucking do.
Yeah, but it was Malekith, right, Nathan?
Yeah, Malekith the Dark Elf.
Yeah.
I knew it was an elf. I just didn't know it.
Oh, you thought it was Legolas, not Malekith.
Legolas, motherfucker.
A for effort.
It's making me realize how much of like phase 1 and 2 stuff I'm like
you don't know
devoid of, because I haven't like properly watched them in a long time. Because I never did rewatches. I never did like a full rewatch up to Infinity War because I was lazy. I'm like, dude, I can't do all those movies.
Because you fell asleep, right?
I made a fucking video series of watching and reviewing every MCU movie leading up to Infinity War. I have a playlist.
And this is why you went 8 times.
For Endgame.
Jeez. 4 times for Infinity War.
3 times.
Twice for Endgame.
I think 3 times Infinity War. I went twice opening weekend, and I went right before the premiere of Ant-Man and the Wasp. Because it was still playing at the time.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Fun fact. But anyways, yeah, Loki comes to Earth.
Loki comes to Earth, and then we start to get a...
He comes to bargain.
Fury does.
With ice.
Oh, true. You're right. Fury does. Yeah.
With ice, yeah, he's going to freeze over everything. He has the Destroyer as well. It's all of Asgard. Like, fuck.
You remember the Destroyer, Carson?
Nope.
Oh,
Big
really?
robot with the fucking beam face.
Oh.
Jesus Christ! This might be the
Fake
podcast. Fake fan. Take him out of the podcast.
It's not toxic Star Wars.
Dude,
fans,
it's a lot of lore to keep track of.
Really? It's a giant
It's really
robot.
not. It's the earliest stuff.
Oh, well, just say the giant robot.
It's called the Destroyer.
It has a name.
Tell me, say giant robot that looks like the Sentinels from X-Men, and I go, oh.
Okay, too many syllables, and no, it fucking doesn't.
Yes, it does. It totally looks like a Sentinel, dude.
One's purple, one's gray, silver. Whatever.
Sentinels look way more fucking organic and disturbing.
And scary. Yeah. If I see a Sentinel or a Destroyer in the hallway, I'm like, Sentinel. Fuck, I'm going.
When we
there.
do our,
Sidebar.
box
In the
race.
Spider-Man animated series, when they're doing like in that simulation room, when the X-Men crossover, and it's like the simulation of it. The Sentinels look super cool in that because they're like,
yeah,
yeah,
big purple.
the big, yeah.
I forget what they look like on
sidebar.
that show. Oh.
So we get a
Anyways.
deal. Common enemy. Let's bring him in. So then we go to the grave of.
Oh
Hope.
yeah. This gets crazy.
And Hank Pym as the Yellow Jacket, like in the comics.
Yes. He hit
Free
his
Yellow
wife.
Jacket in the MCU. What do you say?
He hit his wife.
Probably.
This man, he's done a lot. He's withered. This man is wrinkling more than Clint Eastwood directing and starring in Cry Macho.
That trailer, by the way, worst trailer of the year. Worst trailer of the year. Cry Macho.
Son, the kid.
It's bad. It's bad. I mean, this. I hope this movie makes $1 in the box office. Nobody should see this movie. Why is an old white guy going to Mexico?
You know all the old people are gonna go.
All the old people are gonna go, dude.
I love me some Clint Eastwood. Yeah, when he was doing movies in the 1960s. God.
I like Gran Torino.
Good movie.
We can't go past that though.
How old is he not? What do we say? 91 or something? He's older than
91,
Ridley
92.
Scott. He's
It's like
older
89 or something. Yeah.
No, I swear he's like 91.
I think he's in the late 80s.
So we're in a graveyard.
We are in a graveyard, yeah.
We're in a foggy graveyard with a very unkept Yellow Jacket Hank Pym. This is a Hank Pym that could definitely create Ultron in this universe.
91, yeah, damn.
Yeah!
Hooray, you've cheered age.
Man.
But yeah, we get the confrontation that he's really salty. There has to be a better term.
Damn, depressed?
Yeah,
Jaded.
Let's go to jaded or depressed. His daughter died.
Depressed. And I'm off. And
He is
yeah,
hopeless, as one would say.
Nathan,
that was Carson.
take him out. What I'm saying, take him out.
He used a pun.
Ah, damn it.
He got me. Hit the loophole. Okay, and then we start getting back and forth about how Hope was a fallen shield. We talked about this already.
Mhm.
And it's like, you would have just recruited them all.
Did you guys predict it was like Loki, like when they started having the conversation? I'm like,
Not at first.
No,
What? And
even
then-
when he did like the flip, I was like, animation.
Nathan, same. When he did the flip, I'm like, I guess he's a acrobatic kind of guy.
Then Michael Douglas is just like, what? How can you do that?
You said, you're pretty spry for someone with a corner office.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty good.
Man.
But yeah, but then also when he starts like fucking like taunting him, it's like, oh yeah, I don't think she minds since she's dead. Oh, like, the fuck?
Oh, that's definitely Loki. Okay, I caught on quickly there.
I was like, this feels like more Sam Jackson than Nick Fury. Right
Look out, motherfucker!
But then as soon as he's like popping up everywhere, I'm like,
we need the real Marvel uncut where it's just like
there's so many deleted scenes.
Marvel, what if with uncut?
yeah, uncut.
Uncensored.
Yeah.
What if Nick Fury was Sam Jackson? This fucking Iron Man shit,
Surprise.
goddamn.
Had it with these motherfucking ass Guardians.
These motherfucking now.
What is motherfucking helicarrier?
I wake up, more shit. Like it's like totally.
I would love it. But yeah, the reveal was awesome. It was cool. And even though people complained about the whole Hank Pym coming at the end thing was like shoehorned, I actually liked it. They give just an ounce of motivation in there, which worked.
I don't think it was short at all.
And I didn't think it was shoehorned either. I thought it was a very fun murder mystery. And
It was
Loki
dark
threw
when
in
they
there.
re-showed the recap of him like going.
Yeah, I'm
through
about to
Oh, he
say.
fucking enlarged Hulk's heart.
Ugh.
Fuck. And then
That
they have
was
the
fucked.
audacity to show me again. Like I needed it. Like I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, he enlarged Hulk's heart. He helped pull the trigger on his arrow, right? How did he do it? He just like
Yeah, he just knocked his
kinda like
hand.
he
kicked
just
it
knocked
out,
it out. Okay, yeah. And then
And
He
then-
just killed Hawkeye. He
Oh,
straight
oh,
up
he
was
went
his
in
fucking
Iron
ear?
Man. He went in Iron Man, right? Wasn't he like inside?
Yeah, he was.
the thing?
He was like on the needle because Betty even said like the
projectile.
the serum didn't even come out of the needle.
Oh, which is crazy. I'm like, yeah. When Betty said that, I'm like, I have no idea what happened then. But then Ant-Man thing makes sense, and Ant-Man, it does make sense how he was beating up on Black Widow now because Ant-Man can do that, which is crazy,
dude. And then he basically went like threw a bullet through Hawkeye's head, right? He just zipped through.
Oh, he just like flew out of the ear. I think he just fucking.
That was horrifying when he just came out of the ear. I'm like,
Yeah.
what do you do?
Everyone's fucking Thanos Ant-Man theories.
I love it's so funny still.
It's basically what we would have gotten in the Hulk thing, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, just going through this in episode 4, it's like if the Avengers were evil, we'd be fucked.
Oh.
we'd be doomed.
Oh yeah.
If Iron Man was
WandaVision
evil,
is minimal compared.
yeah. Man, that's crazy.
If Iron Man's most tame failure was
Ultron.
Ultron.
Yeah, Iron Man on a good day was Ultron. Yikes.
Dang, dude.
Yeah, not good.
But
Yeah, this was a fun episode. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, so Hank gets taken into Asgardian custody.
Oh yeah, you're right. Mhm.
And then Loki decides to extend his stay, quote unquote, aka rule.
Fascism.
Yeah, straight up UN meeting, and he was like giving his like Germany speech he would give in a year. And
By the way, I do like these endings to What If, where they're not really. Which surprised me after the first episode of What If. I thought the endings were going to tie into each other, but hearing from the writers, are like, oh no, the ending is just like your average post-credits scene of what would happen in this certain episode. So like in episode 1 with Captain Carter, it's like, oh, she was going to be the Avenger. And then in episode 2, it's like you get this, and episode 3, you get
this is a very much a different timeline because Hawkeye was alive then. Like
exactly, yeah. So in episode 3, you get like, oh, Captain Marvel came in, and then you saw Nick Fury dusting off the ice from Captain America's shield. So Captain America would have came in this universe at a later point after the Avengers are dead. I want to see that universe. So yeah, it's just really cool seeing these post-credit scenes for these certain episodes that have no tie on to the next episode at all.
My brain started to freak out because like at first I was like, ah, damn, we wouldn't get a Civil War like the one we know. But then my brain was also like, oh fuck, wait, if we don't have fucking if we don't have Tony or Hulk can't snap the population back, and Tony can't fucking snap Thanos' army away because he has the suit tech to hold it up. Fuck.
Jeez, yeah, we'd be effed up.
So I think that's a universe where Thanos has won.
We are getting that Gamora episode coming up. I don't know when, but badass evil probably Gamora. I don't know.
We shall see. But then we get to episode 4, which
was good, anyways. Yeah.
Probably the most like fleshed out world, I guess, that they built with any alternate decision here. Like it was so well done, all the world building and all the just on a broad level.
Let's go.
In the score here, man, I was tearing up.
Shit was so
there was
good,
a
dude.
lot of altered motifs of the Doctor Strange theme, but also some new stuff, and I was like,
it hit.
I need the sequel. Like I'm so ready for
hit
another
hard.
adventure.
I know.
But yeah, let us go through this episode. This one was interesting because like we're immediately starting off, and Strange and Christine, which this is the diverging event in the movie. Strange asked if she would like to come with him to one of the events he's speaking at. She blows him off,
and she's mad at him, right? Yeah.
Well, not like mad.
They're not mad.
She's
it's just
like not interested because she's
because he's gonna talk about
they
himself.
Used to be together.
Yeah,
they used to be together, and now they're not. Yeah.
But like here, I guess she had decided, yeah, sure. And here she comes, looking great. Strange is like all about it. And then we get on the fucking highway, and I'm like, no, please no. And,
Highway to hell.
and they're driving, and I'm like, and as soon as he goes over and I see the headlights, I'm like, fuck, here it comes. And then they subvert me for a second.
It was
by
awesome.
getting
Can we
back
just
in the
say how
lane.
cruel that was? Because he's like,
Oh my
we're,
God.
we're fine, Christine,
Yeah, I
we're
was
okay.
like-
And then,
I was like,
Zoom.
there's an asshole behind him.
That was crazy.
And it's hurts because it's the same crash from the movie, like
Yep.
verbatim.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
Point for
It's
point.
exactly this. It matches up like frame by frame if you compare it. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Which is always fun.
Yeah, and they slow motioned it on him hitting the fence and the car spinning 90 degrees, and then I'm like, oh, that's where he broke his hands. But this time,
Yeah, then I saw it. I
didn't.
was like, wait, his hands didn't get crushed. Oh no.
something else did.
Which, granted, he got rear-ended instead of like from the front, which is where the like
Mhm.
dashboard
yeah.
grabs his hands. And then he lands and just Christine's gone, and we get that beautiful shot like behind of the cracked windshield surrounding.
Ooh, yeah.
I was like, it's like the shattered reality, but also my shattered heart. And but it's interesting because it still goes on to the point of like the same way of him losing his hands. It still sends him on the journey of humbleness to become a sorcerer, to then like stay off Dormammu and save the world. And then we basically jump past the primary events that were mostly the same for Doctor Strange, the movie. And he's sitting there, and it's the 2-year anniversary of Christine's passing. Wong's there. He's just looking at the eye.
God damn, I love Wong. He's like, I'm gonna go put on some tea before you do something stupid. And I'm
I
like,
put on the kettle.
I think
Yeah.
it was great, yeah.
It was really good. I liked this point about Doctor Strange because dissecting his character is always a very fun thing to do. And like Nathan said, this was pretty much, even though Christine died, that kind of was like the point of like variance for this multiverse, but also he kind of did go through his actual arc from the movie, which surprised me because as soon as that happened when he lost Christine, I'm like, oh, so this is why he turns evil or something, but not exactly. Like why he turns evil was something completely different, where he's like, oh, the point of him turning evil was him like trying to bring her back.
Also, interesting point. The scene where he discovers the time stone, the Eye of Agamotto, just like in the movie, he gets confronted about it. But in the scene, like he's being confronted by Wong, like the movie, but also by the Ancient One instead of Mordo. Mordo isn't anywhere to be seen in this episode at all. I mean, I don't think it would be a thing of like getting Chiwetel Ejiofor back because they get Marvel characters all the time.
I
for
mean,
these
he's back.
episodes
He's back in Multiverse of Madness, right?
Yeah, he's back. But what I'm saying is like
Is he, though?
they recast the voices. Yes, they recast the voices, for the episodes anyway. If they can't get somebody, but they just like didn't have his character at all, which is
Maybe he didn't pay his bill on time.
it always comes due.
Get it? The bill comes due.
Bravo.
That was
Anyway.
pretty clever.
But yeah, I was just like, all right.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I didn't even think about that. I went through the whole episode. Didn't even think of maybe because there was like we have 30 minutes. We got to shave time. We got to shave this character out. Not really relevant. Yeah.
I mean, they kept it tight with this episode. It was really good. But yeah, he's pondering, and then he decides to go back in time to save Christine, and seemingly he does. Like, seemingly he gets it right, and then he crashes again, and he starts freaking out, like, not again, because also this is like his first time in like 2 years, and it happened again. He relived it.
Yeah, the first time here we saw that he didn't take that left to avoid the truck. He decided just to stay behind the truck. He's like, cool, I'm just gonna do this.
But
Still gets rear-ended. Yeah.
So
And his voice of pain here. Benedict's acting. Man, he was like, no, not again. Let's try it again. And this one we get that amazing fucking montage.
Oh,
it hurts so bad because he tries again, like maybe like leave it a little later, still doesn't work. Try a different route, fucking semi. It's like fuck. And he's like, what if we do dingo? Let's get some pizza. And she was like, nah, I like this dress. I want to go. And they go. And they make it at one point, but I think she has like a heart attack or something. And I'm like,
they're
why?
dancing at the party, and then she still gets a heart attack. And then they finally get pizza too.
They get pizza, and there's a fucking mugger. And then they're just Strange at one point doesn't show up at all. And then she's still in like a building fire accident.
Yeah, God.
This reminded me, low key, of like Final Destination, where it's like death will follow you wherever you go. You're destined to die.
Dude, it's horrifying. And then I don't even know how many we see. And then
it gets to the final one where he's like Christine drives, and he's just like,
that one.
He's so broken. He's just like, I don't care.
I just need you. I just want you. Like,
and you see the fucking headlights coming. And I'm just like,
and he knows it too. Like he just knows that he sees it, and immediately he just senses it. And it's just
imagine physically having to go through however many car crashes in that reality. That alone messes up your psyche.
And it was interesting because like the event would like replay, and then I like how the stone was kind of just like in how it was animated, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It was like inside of the kind of the new event.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then the ancient one shows up and kind of gives us this exposition, yet kind of just tragic, like, hey, we can't do this, and we get this whole fixed point in time thing.
After Strange crawls out of the car.
Literally is at his wit's end. Like, he's done with everything at this point.
And at that point, he's not even, like, malicious yet. He's just broken.
Yeah,
and Everyone just tries to explain, like, this is a fixed point in time. It can't be...
An absolute time, yeah.
Yeah, an absolute moment in this universe, because we know our movie let us have a fucking happy ending.
Right.
In hindsight, fuck hands. Like, I want love.
Yeah.
But there was a great line in the movie that was like, "You could have your hands back, and the world would be all the lesser for it." Which we get by the fucking.
If you're nothing without your hands, then you shouldn't have them.
All right, fucking yes. Bravo. His lore is limited to phase 3.
That's where my brain starts.
There you go. But yeah, then the ancient one is just like trying, and then Strange is like, I just need more power. Then like there has to be a way.
There's nothing's impossible, and then she's dude, in the chilling line of he's like, then you'll have to find me, and I was like,
ooh.
oh my god,
and then she fucking shoots the beam, and my brain was just like, yes, I protected him from the blast.
I thought the same thing, yeah.
And then he just teleports away, and he's in the forest, heading toward the temple of Vishanti, I think, and
Cagliostro, right?
Yes, I'm thinking of a different one. Cagliostro, you're right. And
is it Cagliostro? Because
I just watched it. Cagliostro.
Okay.
It is Cagliostro.
Okay. That's cool because never mind.
And then he enters like upward and then falls through and meets the caretaker, and he straight up is trying to get ahead of any fucking Empire Strikes Back Yoda bullshit. He was like, "You're not fucking Cagliostro, are you?" It's like, nah.
Nah, fam.
Come with me, Armani.
Talk about a cool library.
Oh yeah. Oh, it looks so beautiful with the blossom tree in the middle.
Carson, is that better or worse than your local library that you always go to?
I'd have to say a step down.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of grimy. Honestly.
They only got one caretaker.
No Star Wars book to that place.
But
dude, the shot of all the books floating was so cool.
Awesome.
Say.
Oh, it's so good. And then he just starts studying up, trying to get things right. And then as soon as he read the line of just like absorbing creatures, I was like, shit.
Dude, this whole montage. Well, first it goes.
First off, he
fails,
just
right?
Yeah, he's trying to talk to. It looked like the same tentacle being from episode 1 of What If.
That is exactly what I first thought of too. Yeah.
And it probably is, because I think it's an interdimensional being. So this is probably just trying to. He was like, "Can I borrow some power?" He got like wrapped around his leg. And he's like, "Please." It's like no. Gets knocked out. Gets patched up. Getting some more wise words from the caretaker. About. Well, basically, just like if it was like worth it, like, if she was worth it, because.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that was deep. And then he just goes into a spiral, which little do we know is a frozen point in time, which is
it's
horrifying.
It's great too because it has that great transition of like him in bed, clean shaven, to like him with facial hair, and it's like, oh, he's been working at it for a bit, and
he's changed.
He's starting to like get them, and he starts off on a fucking like a vicious but cute garden gnome.
Yeah, dude,
that was so weird.
Because as soon as it starts like absorbing, and then it's freaking out, I'm like, oh.
It made me think of the. Do you remember when James McAvoy had to promote Sherlock Gnomes?
Sure. I think Benedict was in that.
There's this clip of James McAvoy just looking absolutely dead inside. He's like, Sherlock Gnomes is in theaters this Friday. Get your tickets. Click here.
I haven't seen that.
And it's so funny.
I have to watch that.
Anyways.
But yeah, then we start absorbing more and more beings. A lot of intense beings. Like we pull up a bug with a evil-looking cloak of levitation, steals it.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting detail. And dude, I love, just like some of the horror influences in this episode of like, it literally looks like he's having like an exorcism because it's like the light is like coming out of his eyes, right? And then it's from his mouth, and
it's absorbing like all through into his
brain.
Yeah, is this where his physical form starts to change at this point when he's absorbing the monsters?
Yeah, it's slightly, and then it like reverts back.
It glitches, and then form fits.
Yeah, him absorbing the monsters was very interesting because we know
when you slow down those frames.
Yeah, like at least the rumors for Doctor Strange 2 is like the main villain's going to be that that big monster. What is it called? Like that one alien monster with the eye.
Yeah, what is that called?
I forget the name right now.
Would it help us anyway if we?
Not at all. But yeah, so I'm like,
we know what it's meant for.
So it's interesting seeing Doctor Strange get into this weird monster-like reality where the first movie was really like tame, him fighting other humans, besides Dormammu. And this one though, like
one of the frames when you freeze, he has a Dormammu-ish complexion.
He kind of does. Yeah.
And I'm just like, did he fucking absorb fucking Dormammu? Which there is a really like dark theory going around based on how this episode ends that like maybe
with the crystal structure.
Yeah, with like maybe if like he had absorbed Dormammu after like making the bargain, maybe it's like an ultimately like, oh, Dormammu did come out on top because like the world did get consumed in the universe.
Right. That's interesting.
Which dark as fuck.
True.
I mean, the whole ending is fucking dark anyway, but
yeah.
It absorbs so many fucking hellish creatures, cool fucking like blue six-eyed bird. It's just like absorbing like all the feathers before itself, and fucking two-head goat demon, and fucking like skeletal Hela looking demon.
Yeah.
Freeze frame one shot. He looks like Mephisto. It doesn't matter. And he's going for like all of it again and again, and it's just like insanity. And then at one point he revisits the caretaker and trying to figure out what's going on, and then you realize the caretaker has aged significantly, and Strange himself has, they even say he's been at it for like probably at least a century.
Yeah, it says centuries. I don't know if it was at that point where he said centuries, or maybe he's fighting somebody and it says like centuries, like I've been doing this for centuries. I'm like, whoa, so time has really passed here.
Yeah, because he's freezing himself with a time stone, which I never even considered a possibility. But yeah, possible. Probably shouldn't though. Logan hates it anyway. And then he gets like a final like word from the caretakers how he was just like half a man living half a life, and I thought it was like metaphorical, and I was like, damn, that's profound. But no, it's fucking serious.
It was serious, and that was mind blowing.
It really is both when you think about it.
Yeah. In that moment, we're thinking the metaphorical.
Mm-hmm.
But then
that was a crazy reveal because he's actually like there's two Doctor Strange in this same universe.
There was another fucking great moment where like the Watcher's like narrating to us like
the Watcher was
he's
so
losing
good
himself, and like I could warn him what he's doing, but I mean I doubt he'd even listen. And then he fades away, and the Strange's like, hello, like he sensed.
Yeah, he just looks around. Yeah,
that's one of the first moments where I'm like, oh shit, like what if is now like it's good, like because that's a big significant thing with like Watcher interference with big ramifications.
Yeah,
and I think we could definitely get more down the road. Luckily, this one was more self-contained because the universe is ending by the end. But yeah, he starts to narrate more, and we transition back to Strange still looking at the eye, and at that point I'm thinking, okay, that was a what if, and
Yeah.
didn't happen. We're good. We just like we're gonna move on, and then Strange decides to leave, and he walks outside, and the world's disintegrating. He's like, "Fuck was in that whiskey?" Like,
And the world's disintegrating in such a horrifying way. Like we saw in Infinity War and Endgame, the way people like dissipate in terms of turning to dust. This one, there's a black like glue. It looks like where it's just people are just like disappearing that way. Where it's just like it's a lot more dark and horrifying.
Yeah, it's not really like the mirror dimension absorption, but it is someone also made a point it could be like similar to how when the Ancient was showing Bruce Banner in Endgame, like how branch timeline like going all black can be affected and like doomed. We're probably basically seeing what that description was.
That's a good point. Yeah, I never really thought about it that way. Yeah.
And it looks just horrifying. And so then we get another moment from the Ancient One, who is already dead by this point, and it's just a mental impression she left within Strange's mind. Magic on the fucking higher level.
Well, yeah, it goes to see the good Doctor Strange, right? And like when he's outside the sanctum.
Yeah, and she explains how, and to us, that she split his soul into two timelines, and even he was like, "Was that the safest or smartest thing?" Like. Doesn't fucking matter. It still like made a possible outcome of good to triumph, which, and I'm like watching this and I'm like, this could be a whole fucking movie plot, dude. Like if this was the sequel, fucking
right?
down.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah. So she split his soul. So she's talking to the present Doctor Strange who hadn't gone back in time yet, and saying like, "Hey, there's a version of you that tried to revive Christine. I split that one in two." And that one came to your multiverse kind of thing? Or how did it work?
Basically, yeah.
No,
Okay.
Strange didn't come to his multiverse. Evil Strange, Doctor Strange Supreme, officially dragged Strange to him. But before that, he got, was that the fucking Vishanti thing? The fucking spell he got? I think it was.
The protection spell?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think that was Vishanti, something like that. Started with the V.
Okay. But yeah, he was getting that. Wong was helping out. Wong is disintegrating, and even Wong has like a moment to say like, do you even want to do this? Because it's the thing about Christine. And Strange said, I think I have to, at the very least, to save you. Like,
awesome, love it.
So good. And then just portal opens and he's just Wong's like, that doesn't look good. He's like,
nope.
If he falls like, and Wong just yells, good luck.
Dude, it's such a great summation of the relationship.
The last bit of happiness in this episode.
And he pulls them to like this really like basically like where he's been practicing the magic. And before he's even unveiled, you just see the shadows of all the fucking demons he's absorbed, just like going in and out of him.
So creepy. Yeah.
It's so good. I'm just like, this is fucking top tier Disney animation. Like I'm here for this fucking Fantasia. But then he unveils himself and he starts giving the monologue to Strange. And it's so good because even Strange is like, well, did you get her back? And he's like, no.
Well, not yet.
But we can. And I'm like, you got me. You son of a bitch, I'm in. No.
And it's so compelling because you hear like the need in his voice, like you hear the sadness in his voice, like we can, like I haven't brought him back yet, but with what I've learned now, like granted I've absorbed evil demons, but we both can free Christine now. And he's like, I don't think this is the way, dude. It's like he's talking to himself, he's talking to another version of himself that who wanted to make that decision, which is so fascinating.
And like with this Strange, this evil Doctor Strange, that like the fact that he's preserved his not even preserved, the fact that he prolonged his mind to live for centuries has definitely altered and probably made him snap in that sense of, because like he's only mortal and he didn't go through the proper like good training that our Doctor Strange has. He dove straight in. I mean, he had 2 years, but still, he dove straight into centuries of evil consumption of souls. Like that's he straight up who's Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat.
Sure.
All right, the dude eats people's souls. Anyway,
I'm
anyway,
not up to snuff on Mortal Kombat lore.
I watched the movie.
Besides the lightning guy.
The lightning Raiden.
Rated. There we go.
I thought you were gonna say sure. But yeah, and then he takes him to the fucking car crash.
Yeah.
Where it all happened, and you're just like looking in the reflection. Oh, there was another great moment I didn't even fucking bring up. That like one of the moments where Strange is like picking up Christine, he shuts the door, and there's a reflection of the Watcher real quick. And every time they sneak the Watcher into like
dude, yeah, and is that the point that he realizes or sees him and is like, you
not
can
there.
Fix this?
No, not there.
This is before that. Okay.
It was before he even went down his dark journey.
Oh, got it.
But then they're trying to go back and forth, just like, help me or die, man. Basically. And I know it's like way more well written than that. I haven't watched it in a couple days. I gotta go back. But then they start to duke it out, and like it's really compelling action and great animation. Them just going back and forth. There's a lot of great moments. Like at one point, Strange loses his cloak, so he opens a portal for him to fall through.
Oh, I love that little slide. Yeah, dude, and the cloaks are like fighting it out, and I'm like, aw, like they're trying to.
At one point, like the evil cloak's just like trying to like not let him get past.
Yeah, that was funny. It was like not letting him get past, and Doctor Strange is fighting for his life.
And then he wraps up evil Strange to like let Strange get back on his feet. All the while, like every time Strange getting hit, like bits of the spell are falling off. But
yeah, it was so cool to see.
He's really getting punched, and his spells are coming off.
It was a great moment too, where he just got like a full blast because you think like, I'll just get him now, but he's like, you can't save her, man. And I'm just like, fuck, man.
Yeah, you can't keep trying to fix everything. This isn't the way. It's like,
this isn't love. And I'm like,
Yeah.
And then the cloak wraps around his arms, and I'm like, please no. But they fucking hate me.
And he breaks it.
He disintegrates it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, no, man. And now we don't have flight. Fuck.
We're really going through it at this point.
Yeah. After that point, he puts on his evil cape, and at that point, it was pretty much game over.
Yeah, they're diving through. They're fighting on like back and forth, just like beating the spell off. At one point, just beats all of it except for one spell.
One tiny little symbol. Yep.
And he's very reminiscent of like Ancient One and shit, and it's really cool.
And then just slams him into the ground.
Yeah, like one more final takedown, and it's not it. And then he straight up absorbs Strange, and in my brain I'm thinking, but like the power of good will like overflow, right?
That's what I'm like. Oh, we're gonna wrap this up. Let's go.
I thought it would be like the brim just like overflowing.
It was so brutal because, and I rewatched this after I watched the episode because he pins him because they're flying in the air. He pins him on the ground. As he's putting him on the ground, uses his 2 fingers, wipes away the last defense, absorbs his ass. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay, so there still has to be a good ending because this is Marvel, so maybe...
I straight up, I thought it was just going to be like fucking... yeah, we did it! We did it! And the lesson was learned. Like,
Nope.
And then it's just fucking... He fucking mutates into like a Cronenbergian, like multiple individual eye gluttonous monster.
Yeah. All the monsters that he's absorbed so far.
All the while I'm thinking, I'm like, God damn, they should let Scott Derrickson do horror.
Well, honestly, dude, if they went like this range and we got Raimi on the sequel and they described it as a horror film, I think we're
in for something at least.
The scariest Marvel movie yet.
Dude, if What If can do this shit, I have faith in the movie.
Oh no.
And Sam Raimi.
Good point.
It is a beautiful moment when like Christine is like the car like separates and you just see
dude, and her soul is like floating up like
with a beautiful motif of Doctor Strange. And then she's in his arms, and he's just like trying to talk to her, and I'm like, self-awareness, my God.
Yeah, you hear the muffled voice like, I've saved you, Christine.
And
yeah,
she's like,
that's like,
what? This is real. And then she, rightfully so, starts to freak out,
Yeah, it's a nightmare. Like,
which
what
is
the
horrible. And then she still starts disintegrating from the actions that he caused.
hell? Yep.
And it's like, fuck, dude. There was
wasn't supposed to be like this. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I'm like,
yeah.
oh.
It's also at that moment, like then he gets back to his normal self as if,
Dude,
like,
and that's tragic because then she goes, Steven? And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
and then everything just starts fucking like lose. Oh, I didn't even bring up. There was a great part in like this Strange fight where like behind him there was a shadow, and I thought it was the Watcher shadow, but it's actually fucking evil Strange that dragged.
Oh yeah, that
yeah.
shot was so cool. Yeah.
The good Strange is the beam of light. The Dark Strange absorbs it, and then you see behind him the evil Doctor Strange shadow, and like a ball of light shows up. It was badass. I love that fight so much.
Yeah, dude, so good. And then like we start getting pulled up, and everything's just starting to chroma down. So he's just like freaks out with a blast to just try to fucking mirror dimension cocoon.
As they're levitating, yeah.
Yeah, and all while he's trying to do is he's still blasting the entire time, like trying to maintain it because it's shrinking. And then
he looks down at her.
Yeah, he looks down, and she doesn't know what the fuck's going on. She just got consciousness in the last minute. And then he sees the Watcher, and he's just like, "You, I've read about you. I sensed your presence. You're a god. You can help." And fucking the Watcher, like, even he knows like shit's fucked. So he just like he pops right in, and he's just like, fuck. He said something like really great. It's just like about like his actions with like going after Christine. Like, did you think you were a god? Shit. And he was like, I never remember this happened. The universe shouldn't end because of what I've done, but it fucking is. And he's like, I would like to
punish me.
I would if I could. Yeah,
what if I could? But as it stands, I cannot interfere. I'm not allowed to, and it's never goes right to meddle with the flow of time. He fucking bails.
Yeah,
which is slightly, I don't know. I thought of Eternals when I thought of this, where an omnipotent being like a celestial, not caring too much about the lives of a single decision or a single human. There's just like these beings,
even a single world.
Yeah, these beings can do something, but they're not supposed to. That's not their role. So it's like tragic.
Which I think, just like the Watcher in the comics, would be a thing to happen where he does get a bit more attached, and he eventually will interfere, like against. He gets fucking reprimanded for it, but like he has interfered. The Watcher has interfered a couple of times in the comics. But yeah, and it's also great to see like his full like look. I've only seen that in Lego form and on a Lego box. But to see just like the full like complexion and Jeffrey Wright just like doing the performance, I'd be like, man, I want to see him live action.
Yeah, dude.
But it looks so cool, and then he just like takes off, and he's just like trying so hard, and it just he can't. And then everything's starting to close in, and everything's dark. It's dark. He sees Christine, and she's just like Steven. And he's just like, this wasn't supposed to happen. And she, like, just the last words you hear is just like, what did you do? And she fades away, and he fucking breaks down crying. He breaks down crying, and then the Watcher's narration is just like, what? One life, one moment.
Dude, and then it like looks like it's like a single atom that's like left. Like it looks like
this just... Oh, that was the thing too. While it just like fucking like caved in with like the tiny glow, and then we got that final moment.
Yep.
And then it was just like fading out, and it was
beautiful.
It's silent, and I was like, I'm just sitting
Ow.
there,
and
then concept art, I'm like fuck.
My brother and I looked at each other. We're like, oh wow, this is.
When I saw Jalen's tweet, I'm like, oh, they're really going through it right now.
Yeah, we weren't ready.
What I meant, Evan. So
have you guys seen the Miyazaki movie, The Tale of the Princess Kaguya?
It's on my list, Evan. It's like 1 of 5 I have not seen. Wait, no, yeah, I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I have. The princess one?
Yeah, the one with the weird animation.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah. That one's pain, dude.
That one ends, and my brother and I looked at each other like, oh, so we're just dead inside now, right? Yeah, okay.
That movie is tragic, dude. That's the same guy that made Grave of Fireflies.
It is, yeah.
Now I remember this.
So, yeah, this one also ends in the same way. I'm just like, damn, this is ballsy, but it's depressing, and I wouldn't have liked it to end any other way. I mean, I would have liked it to end happier, but of course, this is a more I don't know how to explain it, but it makes
Defined
sense.
story.
Yeah, more defined story. It makes sense with what they were telling and how every universe, every what if, it's like you're not going to have a happy what if like the beautiful episode 2 with Black Panther. Sometimes you do get something where one decision is a bad decision and it leads to a horrible outcome for the entire universe. Wow. Kudos to What If. I mean, it just shows how much genre bending and the capabilities of the show, and only 4 episodes out of 9, almost halfway there. And I'm liking the show a lot.
And I was trying to like piece together. Not even. I wasn't really trying to piece anything together because
Your heart together, piece your heart together.
Yes, I wasn't trying to like theorize. I wasn't trying to theorize or anything because I'm just like I love this story so much. I don't need it. I don't need to. I'm good. Like the way it ends, it just ends so like definitively that I'm just like, no continuation. Don't need to think of one. This is just like a really profound storytelling lesson. One I've explored personally as well, so I was just like really hooked. But and then Preston's in our chat just like, will you be back though? I'm like that's not the fucking point. And then motherfucker comes at me for implications. But it is also interesting that like late in the What If trailer there is a shot of Doctor Strange Supreme with Captain Carter together.
What is on the cutting room floor?
I don't think it's on the cutting room floor, but also
that's the future thing.
Yeah, but also I can like see this being a thing where like this universe still ended, and there's another universe where like shit start to play out like this, and that'll have a different ending that will also connect. Like it's another universe with Captain
Infinite prisms, man.
Yeah, there can be more than one evil, strange universe. Absolutely.
Yeah. And they could just write it as we see in those credits, he just does a portal to something else, and boom.
Is evil strange in No Way Home?
Oh boy.
I don't.
No, I mean this episode even more defined Strange's character to make it make sense for what he did in No Way Home, where it's like one risky decision. They use the word risk a lot in this episode, and it makes sense with No Way Home, where Doctor Strange is inherently a risky person. But of course, we will get more context in No Way Home. But yeah, I know. But
what does it all mean?
Could we see this evil one in Multiverse of Madness? Maybe, but everything in the kitchen sink is rumored to be in that fucking movie. So you never.
Captain Carter's rumored to be in that movie.
Really? Oh god,
Yeah.
Loki and Sylvie are rumored to be in that movie too.
And Mobius.
I'm like, yeah, right. Anyways,
I can believe it for like real.
for
quick.
what, 2 seconds? Hey guys, we're from Loki. Go subscribe.
I'm on a jet ski.
Well, yeah, but more like, hey, here's the shit that just went down and why shit's. Going
Here's Kang. See him next year.
2 years.
By then, it'll be next year for 2022 for Ant-Man. But yeah.
Carson doesn't know what Ant-Man is.
Leave me alone.
Anyway, yeah. How did we spend an hour and 12 minutes
I have
on
no
2 What If
idea.
episodes? How did that happen?
Because What If Episode 4 is a masterpiece and my favorite Disney Plus thing.
Oh no!
I was thinking, like, honestly.
Really, Carson?
Loki... No. Let's break this down here. We got what?
Let's
4.
do it. Let's break it down.
4 original. I mean, I'd put it over every episode of Mando, probably.
Yes.
Why you guys saying no Mando? Damn!
What do we do every day?
You.
What'd I say?
You don't have to say
lie.
anything.
Roll it. Roll 55 episodes.
Don't roll the clip.
We got hours.
We got days.
I'd put it over every episode of Falcon the Winter Soldier, I think.
Damn. Wait, What If or this episode?
This episode. Not What If.
I have it above everything because
Holy shit.
I already love the dynamic of Benedict Cumberbatch and Rachel McAdams. I love the Doctor Strange movie for years, so it's kind of like unfair.
I would say it's
you
up
were
there.
with me on that Discord call, and we were thriving.
I would
Are
say
you
it's.
going to hold me prisoner to a Discord call?
I would say it's up there with the
I
best
agree.
of the best episodes of WandaVision or Loki. I think it's up there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
It
what
gets
if I put it
harder
over,
because
but
of the way it did end.
I thought this was a great episode. It's so hard to judge when I'm comparing it to all of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I mean, when I'm looking at it, especially for like sad endings.
Somebody got shot.
Jeez.
Anyway, when I think of like the tragedy of the endings, it's like we lost Vision, but also he's still out there. Loki and Sylvie are split, but we're getting to season 2. Falcon Winter Soldier ends profoundly.
Good speech.
And we got a new Cap, and it's like hell yeah.
Are you sure about the Twitter account? Says Captain Carter.
Oh my god. Literally everything changed. Fuck, I didn't even go to check if like Doctor Strange's Twitter changed. I should have checked on that.
Probably did.
Probably. Because they changed the Guardians account to T'Challa's Star-Lord for the time.
It did.
Everybody flipping their lid. I remember everyone was freaking out about the Captain Carter banner changes, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to combine all 3. Marvel, here's it for free. And it flopped, but I like how it looked.
Yeah, it says Doctor Strange Supreme.
Oh, nice. Wild. But we got a little bit more Marvel stuff.
Give me 2 seconds. Start off the combo. I'm going to throw this plate away.
Bitch, you saw it first!
Moon is harassing me and trying to eat rice. I don't think rice is good for cats. I don't think.
Are they not?
I don't know.
Maybe it's good unless you have all the shit that they put on it.
Do we really have more Marvel stuff, Nathan? I thought we finished up with all the Marvel discussions. I thought we were moving on to DC.
Well,
are we doing a Zack Snyder Suicide Squad review? Or,
Zack Snyder Suicide Squad?
I don't know what I just said there. James Gunn's Suicide Squad. David
Ayer's Suicide Squad.
Please don't tell me we ever have to do a commentary for that one. I will refuse.
If that comes out, if like his cut comes out.
Oh yeah.
But no, we are in the era of Shang-Chi and the Legend of Sean.
Oh, spoiler reviews, right? This is spoiler review for Shang-Chi starting right now. Yeah. So Shang-Chi died at the end. That was crazy. No.
Fucking almost.
But yeah, we're entering. So Phase 4 of the MCU started with Homecoming or No Way Home or not Far From Home, right?
WandaVision and or Black Widow, depending on where you go.
Okay, so Far From Home was part of Phase 3.
Yeah, it was the epilogue.
The last. Okay, yeah. You're right.
Saga.
But
this is our first like Phase 4 movie proceeding forward.
You're right. Yeah. This is a Phase 4 movie. Yeah, because we had WandaVision and Loki, wherever Loki takes place at.
I mean, Black Widow had
Winter Soldier.
Future end credit scene, but this is.
I always think the end credit scene takes place about like probably around the same time as this movie, a couple weeks after maybe this movie.
Sure.
But yeah, this one, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And Nathan, we've heard of the Ten Rings before.
A little bit. I love when Feige, fucking need Carson here, because Feige would point out, like, in their background of Iron Man, Ant-Man even, bet you didn't see that. He even says. I'm going to bring up the Carson yet. I'm going to bring up Carson when he gets back. Hey, you remember the Mandarin, the Ten Rings and Ant-Man? He's like, what?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this was quite the movie, Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings. I remember going in, I was super excited. Daniel Destin Cretton. Daniel Cretton. I always mess up his first and second name. Fantastic director. He directed one of my favorite movies of the past couple of years in Short Term 12 with Brie Larson, Rami Malek, Lakeith Stanfield, Caitlin Dever. Short Term 12 is a fantastic movie.
The moment I put my headphones back in, I hear the words Rami Malek, and I jump scared. Absolutely jump scared me.
You're going down.
Hold on. Carson, the Ten Rings.
What about them?
They're familiar. We've known them from Iron Man.
Yes.
We know them from Ant-Man.
I actually I knew that part of the lore.
Do you remember them in Ant-Man?
Oh.
Ant-Man? They're not an Ant-Man.
They are.
You're lying.
I'm fucking not.
You're lying.
There's a fucking Ten Rings member with the fucking tattoo on his ear.
Oh yeah.
Lies.
At the end,
I'm serious. Fuck, he
at-
had that in his presentation for Shang-Chi.
at the end of the movie, right when he's doing the heist,
Yeah, Hydra was there too.
Hydra, and Legend of the Ten Rings guy. Yeah, but yeah, I think the director. I was hyped for this movie, but I wasn't expecting. I don't know. I wasn't expecting what I reacted to after I saw this movie. Horrible way of saying that, but I came into this movie expecting one thing, and I came out I got what I got. But wow, this movie was
The trailers,
phenomenal.
can we just say, are pretty horrible representation of this
damn.
movie.
I didn't think it was a.
Not
bad
the,
In all the
first-
clips, the stuff they showed of the bus scene was like the most tame stuff. Like they didn't show
You're
any
right.
like the. I mean,
I'd argue
granted-
that's good.
Yeah,
But anyways.
I agree with what Carson was saying. I think that trailer 1 really was like, it's okay, that's good. It's a Marvel movie. It's an origin story. Trailer 2, you really got what the theme of the movie is in terms of
that's
family.
true. I'm probably
kinda-
just thinking of the first trailer then.
I was kind of
Family.
worried I saw too much. But I think my woes were qualmed while watching. Because like I remember like they got to they're like following the postcard, the address. As soon as I saw the fucking scaffolding building, I was like, oh, there's a fight here.
Yeah, like they released a clip. They released a clip online. I didn't watch it at all. I'm like, I want to see these.
I didn't
fights.
watch any clips. I just
the
remember
first
their
time.
teaser.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But wow, just initial reaction for me. This movie was incredible. I left the theater. My brother and I were like, "Can we find a lot of complaints in this movie?" But like, I think a lot of my complaints have to do with like parts of the third act. But in general, I'm like, it worked for me. Like, I have to be reaching to find a lot of complaints for this movie. This movie was phenomenal. Performances, actually, it does exactly what I like about the MCU, or at least what we've gotten recently from the MCU movies. Where
PSA,
yeah,
see it in IMAX because the entire film was expanded the entire runtime. Not since Endgame.
I do need to see it in IMAX. Yeah,
Yeah, I saw it in IMAX because
Oh shit! Was that your?
yeah. Let me break this down quick because I thought it was just gonna be a normal like fan screening, right? Which typically they just have some like random person there, like it's not it's official, but it's kind of just like a little table.
You're describing my King Arthur and Legend
Right.
of Sword advanced screening.
And then we get in there. No, we have to check in our phones, put them in labeled bags.
Yeah.
Then there's guys in suits that scan us with metal detectors.
Damn, I was about to say maybe you could pull a fucking Dark Knight, Lucius Fox, where he gives like a default phone.
Then I forgot to mention this part. I don't know if they did this on purpose, but they kept some of the lights on during the movie.
Oh
Like-
hell no!
Because so the ushers could because the ushers were constantly walking around to make sure nobody was filming.
Wow.
So it was like this whole deal. Anyway, and then Kelly was thirsty, so I went to go get like a large Sprite or whatever. And then
Before the movie?
yeah, but then we were already in the theater, and so this is before the movie, and so then I go out and I'm like, can I go get concessions? Like I was all worried that like I couldn't like go back in, like, and then I get up to the counter and she's like, "Are you an A-list member?" I'm like, "Motherfucker, yes. I don't have my phone."
You can give me your number though. You can give them your number and they'll punch it in.
And they did, and then I like wasn't showing up for some reason, and I'm like,
fuck.
God damn it. And so then I didn't get my A-list points, and so I was mad about that. But then, anyways,
No discount.
it was cool. Anyways, and then seeing IMAX is what the main point was. It was super cool because it was. I hadn't been to this theater before, and it was the IMAX with laser, and that was cool to have probably the best IMAX screen in the state. I
The
think.
one I went to in Chicago was a laser, and I was like, oh.
They shot you guys with lasers?
Pretty much, yeah, dude.
Yeah, I got laser eye surgery while
Laser
watching
eye
the
surgery?
movie.
Wow, that's so
Mine was Shazam though.
so modern. I like that. Nice.
And it
But anyways, this movie, I kind of had that same reaction. Like, I think the first thing that struck me when my reaction tweet is just like seeing stuff in camera, like how much we've taken that for granted in terms of like action. And like I love like Infinity War and stuff, and even like Black Panther, but some of the choreography in those movies is so either ousted to CGI, like falling around and doing stuff, or it's filming a shit ton of coverage with shaky cam and then cutting around it and barely passing by. This, it was like every punch had a purpose. It was like so well done. It was purposeful. It was like in camera. There was so many cool stunts. It was awesome. And I'm like, dang, I really wish that moving forward that it was always like this, and not relegated to second unit. I mean, second unit does a great job, but when it's part of the story and it's a forefront of like the visual style of the movie, I think it makes so much of a difference for the emotional stuff because you feel it in the fights.
I agree. It's funny because from Endgame and the Russos are always like, we got the John Wick people behind the scenes doing the fight scene. It's like, oh, but it's just Iron Man.
It's like a separate
people.
thing. Yeah,
it's like it does not. It's not the same. But yeah, for me, this movie does what a lot of Phase 4 does right, or just in general what a lot of recent Marvel does. Like for Black Panther, which Black Panther is still like top 3 MCU movies for me. I love Black Panther, and it's all about a great lead, a phenomenal cast, a compelling villain, and it's introducing a separate culture and a separate vibe to the MCU that makes it feel new and unique in its own right. In that sense, it becomes timeless. And I can already see this movie. Black Panther is instantly timeless as soon as I saw that movie. And for this one, I'm like, oh, this can be timeless as well. Regardless of the CGI, which is a problem with most blockbusters, this movie in general just
the whole journey, dude,
so
right? Yeah,
good
the whole family dynamic.
The family dynamic, which again for Black Panther, that's what really sells the movie. The family. This too is like, oh my god, the sister is such a surprise here. The father, Tony, how do you say it? Tony Lund? Tony Lund?
Loon. I think
but
might be silent.
I need to see now. I need to order a lot of his movies now because holy shit, he was good. And I haven't seen.
Have you ever seen? You haven't seen?
No, not at all. And I haven't seen a lot of martial arts movies in general. But man, he really sold the movie for me. And I know a villain is going to be good in any movie when the movie starts out with the villain. I'm trying to think of another movie where the villain starts off in the first like 5 to 10 minutes. You're like, oh, okay, they're actually going to have some screen time this time. They're actually going to have an arc. No. Infinity War, kind of in a way, where Thanos like
pretty good example.
Starts it off.
That's a great scene. I love that scene.
I'm dialing through the.
Me too. Even in Black Panther, you see that art museum scene with Killmonger.
Early, yeah.
And you're like, okay, this guy is going to be good.
Well, also, like, at the start of the movie, like, you think the narration is to T'Challa, but it's to Eric.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, especially like
they go to like Child Eric too. So yes,
like when I watch a lot of anime, and it's like, oh, we're really centering on this villain. You know, the villain's going to have a lot of good depth to him when it's like he's the main star for at least the first 10 minutes of the movie, and you're just going through his past and his history, and it's like, oh, this is so
good. And the whole backstory of like the whole backstory of the guy, and then like he's lived for centuries, dude, and like
so awesome.
Like just that whole lore of like finding what remind me what the city is called, where the wife lives.
Man, I just
Nathan, you gotta know this.
The Great Protector, Tao
Lo. Yes.
Yeah.
So that whole deal was super cool, and
it's gonna be something else. We're fucking racist.
Dude, their introduction scene, their intro fight is so good. I love their intro fight. Their intro fight in the forest is awesome when he first like discovers
my gosh. When him and his crew are like, we found the place, let's go drive through it. He's like, I'm coming with you guys. I'm like, okay, cool.
Like, I want to go now.
Yeah, I want to go now. And they're just driving, and they're just vibing. And then the forest starts closing in on him, and then he hit the cliff.
He just jumps out.
Rings, bitch.
That like, honestly was such a.
Get out of here.
That was such a like decision of like, okay, I know this guy has lived for that long because everything is just nothing is around him. Like he's just himself. Like that, it just nothing to him can phase him.
Zero F's about everybody else who just died there. He's like, okay, let me just.
All right, let me just go back.
That was just so cool. I'm like, this guy. Because it's just like where you can tell a lot about somebody's character without him having to
hearing
something.
Him. Yep.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this guy's a self-interested, self-preservation kind of guy, which works for his arc. Because when he meets the Great Protector, his wife,
And it aids to the whole tragedy of it, right? Because
yes,
we get into this, with Shang-Chi when he's back into the fold with his dad, and it's like this menacing thing because we're starting to learn of like how toxic their dynamic was, but then like we start to get hints of like like their family, man, and it's like tragic. Like we could just stop this, and like and it just makes the third act so much more impactful.
But also like when the mother and father first meet and they fight. And then like those slow-mo like looks at each other. I'm like, what the enemies to lovers is this?
Dude, you know me. The best trope in the world. In the world. Nothing holds a candle to enemies to lovers. Nothing. And when I saw this fight, I'm like, already this is a stylish, incredibly well choreographed fight between two great actors.
And the fact that circles all the way back to how he pretty much gets one up on his dad. In the final fight, which is
it was so good. The way they were interacting with each other, the way they were fighting. I'm like, yo, this is incredible. I was like cheesing the entire time. I was just smiling.
Yeah, dude, it's a really fun movie
because it's super fun and enjoyable. This guy is a mass murderer, but he meets this woman and she falls for him. And it's not the weird thing where you're like, why is she falling for a mass murderer when she knows all the things he did? Like, no, because she knows deep down he's a good person. It's a really good Beauty and the Beast kind of scenario there.
Yeah.
I mean, also it kicked off like just like with the Legend of the Ten Rings and like
the
like big like era.
That whole battle sequence, holy shit,
really
dude.
good. He goes one man army basically. And he's going through, and it's so good. I was about to say something clever. I lost my train of thought.
I'm just thinking about the noise of the rings. It's just like that whipping sound.
Oh, it's so good.
Really good sound design.
Yeah.
I want to see how they created that.
The whole movie starts out with this narration in Chinese. Go off.
Yes, I love that.
Subtitles. Love it. Thank you, Marvel.
Also, with it being expanded IMAX, there was just a big gap under the subtitles, and I was like, I see it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's
because
funny.
that's where the fucking crop would be.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, after the monologue, I mean, it's already a great introduction to this world and to those two main characters, and it's the crux of the movie, basically. Like the main issue of the movie has to do with the issue between the mother and the father, and how that permeates with the Shang-Chi and his sister. And yeah, then we get Shang-Chi in San Fran.
Yeah, he wakes up, takes away his postcard. Did we get the scene with his mom before that? Like, aren't they like telling the story of like?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah, that's in the flashback.
When he's a kid.
Like they show
when
like
he's a kid.
like Shang is born, and then with his mom who left her power behind in the land.
Yeah. There's a quick scene with them together as the little.
And real quick, so when they have this kid, when they have Shang-Chi, at that point I'm like, I'm curious if what we learned to be Wenwu, if he took his rings off during this time or not, because we know she left her powers behind, but did he leave his rings behind? Mm-hmm. And then we learn later on that he did.
Yeah, they're in a case.
Yeah.
And then he ages as a result, I think.
He said he found a reason to grow old.
Yes. Love it.
Like, what in the avatar is this?
Oh man, it was just so cool. But yeah, and then we go to San Francisco.
Then we go to San Francisco. We look at the postcard. With the...
Oh, by the way, no title cards. San Francisco. I don't think it said that. I think it was just like.
No, it just goes to places.
It just goes to places. I'm like, thank God, thank you, Marvel. Hopefully you're learning. If this was the Russo brothers, it'd be like San Francisco. It's like, yeah, we get it. We freaking know. Yeah.
Golden Gate Bridge.
Only if it's a Russo film.
Yeah.
Or Winter Soldier.
The Suicide Squad, James Gunn did really good use of new locations.
Oh God, those
title cards,
so cool, dude.
For every new scene,
they were basically chapter titles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, chapter titles too. That's what I meant. Yeah, that was really cool.
Really good.
8 minutes ago, I'm like.
But we're in San Francisco. We wake up, we do push-ups, we put on a classy suit, and I'm just like, I saw the fucking trailer. They're gonna fucking blindside me. And then they have the car, and I'm like, I saw the fucking trailer. I know. I remember this. Not the I'm on a new level. That's Snake Eyes.
I'm on a new level. It reminded me of the Key and Peele skit when they're playing like ushers and they talk about they're talking about Liam Neeson and other famous actors. Liam Neeson is my shit. Yeah, very funny skit. But yeah, this was very funny. And then we get introduced to Awkwafina's Katie, who was a very fun addition to the movie.
Who is a master at comedy and is wonderful, and there's no opposition to that ever.
None of
She's
all.
good.
Right?
She's
Yeah.
good.
I hate you.
No, I had fun.
Is Carson the one that doesn't like her?
Carson and Preston went in.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought it was just Preston.
See, I like her in this movie.
Have you seen The
I just-
Farewell?
Yes, but I prefer her way more in The Farewell.
Oh,
I
that's her
just-
best
Versus the
performance.
series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer her to her best performance ever.
No, I'm what I'm trying to say. You didn't read all this part of the chat. What I'm trying to say is I feel like she's getting typecasted to the exact same role, and I just don't want to see her relegated to the exact same shtick over and over again.
Like a Ryan Reynolds kind of thing.
Yeah,
He said that for
Or did he?
I
gotta read the chat.
because she has more range than that. So
Hold on.
that's
Did we ever review Raya? Because I found a horrifying truth.
Did we
about Carson.
not? I thought we did.
I swear we did, but I found a horrifying truth of Carson.
Dude, she's
Episode
annoying in that.
35.
I'm sorry, she's annoying. in
Wow,
that
that's
movie.
crazy. I didn't know you thought it that way. I mean, you're wrong, but it's okay. But yeah.
And-
I know.
but- No, I thought she was a good sidekick here, and I really did like when she like challenged him. Like even in the beginning, when shit hits the fan, she's like, "Nah, man, I'm going. You can tell me on the plane." I was like, shit like that. I like love
Okay.
that.
I like that a lot.
You know what I appreciate is like there was like moments of like different beats like that where you would expect it to sound humorous and for the
Mhm.
audience to respond. Amazingly, moments like that where she just like storms off and like slams the door, I was like, that feels more serious. And my
Mhm.
audience did not laugh, and I was like, fucking, where am I?
Like 3/4 into the movie, I'm like,
Yeah.
I haven't laughed much, like unless it's like a funny like moment and stuff. But like, this wasn't your quippy every
Yeah,
other
like,
sentence. Like I have
there's
something
no-
fast to say. Yeah,
But it's not like anytime we can have one, we gotta. Like,
Yeah, that's what I did appreciate is the humor came out of more of their relationship, and like brother and sister relationship and that kind of thing.
yeah.
There was some bad quips of like after the bus scene, we're like, "We're a good team," ha ha ha. Like, I was like,
think
okay,
I think I was numb from the trailer.
yeah, right, because it was like,
Oh, was that in the trailer?
yeah, I think it was.
It was like it's Carson's favorite end gag line at the end of the,
Oh,
Yeah.
after the title.
So who's leading the Avengers now?
But the whole like bar stuff, I thought landed pretty well. It was awkward at first, but I thought it was like the other people talking that was weird. I guess I wasn't
worked
used to the
better at
movie
the
yet,
end of the movie, too.
and then the end like worked a way better in context.
agree.
And of course, Wong's comedy is always just on point.
Always
so.
good. But I really adore their relationship. This is something unique where most Marvel movies or most movies in general is like make them kiss. They're romantic leads. It's
Nah,
like,
man, they just have
no.
this heart to heart at the lake at the end, right before the third act starts. I was like, that was my favorite scene between them.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, as soon as
And
I saw that
I
scene,
think
was like,
Simu's best scene probably as well, other than
yeah.
some of the main action with the dad
I'm about to say some of the dialogue
Yeah.
between him and his dad
is really good. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
But
Wait,
yeah.
sorry, this reminded me. Last night, when I was like going home, in my Uber, the driver was like, you getting off work? I was like, you're like, do you work here? And I was like, I used to. There's a point here.
Oh no.
Also, every time like they ask, like, like if I'm getting picked up, they're like, "You going to work?" I'm like, "Yep," because I don't feel like it. I don't feel like explaining. I don't feel like being getting into what movie you seeing because I'm like, how do I fucking explain the Green Knight to the fucking
that that was me today when one of my coworkers was like, "Hey, so and so, I saw the dude. What was the show that Simu was on that was famous?"
Oh fuck. I forget.
I need to watch it.
Anyways, so they're like,
It's on network
I
TV.
saw the dude from so and so is a Marvel superhero now. Did you know that he's a superhero? And I was like, do
Did
they
you
know?
know?
I've seen Shang-Chi. And I'm like, ah.
No,
And it was like
okay.
it was like 4:40. I'm like, 20 minutes left. I don't need to get into this.
Do
That's
I
a lot
lie?
of effort.
I agree. I did the same thing.
Meanwhile, I'm like literally on Letterboxd at the time, like trying to like make list of like 2021 movies that I've missed. I'm like,
Oh, but like, yeah, my driver was just like, do you work here? I was like, I used to. He was like, oh, never mind. I just scoffed laughing because I thought, all right, I got one. I thought he had like a movie question. He did because he was like, oh, I thought maybe you could tell me when like Shang-Chi's supposed to come out, and I was like, tonight. Like, a word? And I was like, yeah, I just finished it. He was like, oh, what you think? I was like,
it was terrible.
I thought it was great, dude. And then today I rung up a Katie action figure, like in the like red suit with the archer.
oh, nice.
Stuff.
Oh, whoa.
A Marvel Legends figure, and I was like, dope. And I was like ringing up, and as they're like putting their card in, I was like, you gotten to see it? I know it just came out last night, but you gotten to see it? And then he was like, oh no, like, I don't even know when it's supposed to come out. I'm like, it's out now. He was like, what? I was like,
Wow.
yes. So I'm spreading the good
Dude, isn't that crazy? And I watched. This is kind of related to that. I watched. I don't know if you watched Chris Stuckman's newest video that came out today, just like talking about like release dates and movie, like how much stuff we had to like sort through. And for us, it's just like second nature of like, oh yeah, like yeah, September 3rd, idiots. Like, you know,
yeah, October 22nd, dude. I know.
But like, yeah, but like for other people, like there's just so many like 7 streaming services, you know, theaters, different.
The dude literally asked me like, is it on streaming? And I was like, nah.
Right, exactly. Like it's confusing. It literally is so confusing. Like if I wasn't as invested in movies as I am now, like it would be.
Is it though?
I mean, people are lazy, dude. And Chris talks about this in his video. He's like, you can just go on IMDb, type in release dates, and you can see everything. But people hate to be minorly inconvenienced because they're so used to going on Twitter and having the information fed to them in an ad or something about the movie. Or, you know, someone telling them about it.
And that isn't stopping me from opening my browser and just typing weather and then Google being like, here it is.
I know, but like people are lazy as hell, and I'm with that for like other things. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
Anyway, so it's just interesting because Nathan's example made me think of that.
But going back to Shang-Chi, I like how both of the characters really like. It could have got really cliche between him and Katie, but like I liked how both of them helped each other out. It's like they were both people that weren't really applying themselves. So when it gets to the third act, both of their arcs like really works together, like in harmony.
Yeah, and she's not just like dropped off. Like I love that she's still part of it, and then
she tries to go in, they're like no, and she's persistent. She's like, help my friends, and even at the point like a dude just like, don't die. Right.
Yeah, and at the end, Kelly's like, oh, why is she going with? Like, she ain't gonna do anything. I was like, hey, no.
She's a good archer now. She's a good archer now.
And so then I was like, oh, I'm defending this character. Oh my god, I do like this character.
That's the character growth.
Character arc. There we go.
So there you go. There's a little slice of life for you.
Very delighting your ears.
Yeah, overall, this movie is fantastic. Yeah.
I mean, I also appreciate that like Katie isn't like a funny side character who's like outside of the realm of speaking the fluent language, so we have to like translate it for the sake of the audience and her. Like everyone like knows, and we're here, and we can fucking read. So it's like great, love that, Evan.
And then when he's getting to his sister's location, because she sends him the postcard, and they're looking to go save her.
She didn't.
Oh yeah, you're right. She didn't send him the postcard. It was a trap. By the way, I'm like, I don't know if it's just 2021 to me, but I'm too lazy to carry around a big postcard. I probably would just like take a picture of the address and just.
There you go. There we go. There's an example of how lazy people are. I'm telling you.
But he's doing the same thing.
You know what my thought was when I saw that postcard? I was like, fuck, that's a whole drawing. Like, what if that got lost in the mail? That sucks. Like,
it just like doesn't get to him.
Very complex. It goes to the neighbor's address.
And at first I was like, wait, if they already know the address, like what's the point? And I'm like, oh, they're just getting him in the same place so they can take.
Yeah.
But then they already have the other one, so I'm like.
Yeah,
I don't know. And then the dad's trying to get them together. Obviously.
Yeah, in general, the dad knew where they both were, anyways.
He always knew.
He allowed them to have.
Right. That's a good clarification.
Which was so fascinating. But yeah, going to see the sister, she really. I heard some complaints where she wasn't used that much. I would have loved to see even more of her. Hopefully, we do get that in the sequels. But what we did get of her, I think her name is Jia Ling in the movie. but she was really good. And she had a parallel arc to Shang-Chi. And I did not expect this at all. Basically, going off of the marketing and the trailers, I'm like, oh, the main leads are the father, and then you have Shang-Chi, and then Awkwafina comes in, and the mother might have some issues, but she's already dead, so I don't know that much. But then the sister, like, oh yeah, while you were getting trained by our father Wenwu, I was just watching and I was training myself, and I started my own underground organization at the age of like 14 or 16.
Not just trained herself better.
Better with the awesome weapon. Yeah, I love that weapon too. It's really cool.
She's straight up Scorpion.
Yeah.
It's so good. Great weapon. Great detail. But yeah, when we get to that point in the location for the fight arena, the big Wong versus Abomination fight.
Yeah, the 1 second fight that we saw all of in the trailers.
Yeah, it's all in the marketing now. God damn it. I'm so mad.
This movie is connected, guys. Come on.
But I mean, yeah, when we got there, I was like, oh shit, because initially I thought they were setting up in the trailer Shang-Chi has to fight Abomination. And
Me too. I thought it was like a tournament style thing where it's like, oh, Abomination beats Wong, and then Shang-Chi has to fight Abomination, but Abomination doesn't beat Wong. He gets his ass kicked.
Oh yeah, if Wong pulls a fucking awesome fucking portal punch of himself.
That KOs him.
Yeah, it's so good.
That was
surprising. Can we just say, I think this is the sister's like first movie. Like I went on her.
Oh really? That's awesome.
Yeah, I went on her. Well, when I was on Letterboxd, just looking at the cast. I think that's her only credit on here. I don't know if she's done TV before. Let's see.
I think she married somebody on set too while they were filming. I looked her up the other day. Really? I think she married one of the action choreographers.
Yeah, so her only credit, if you go to her thing on Letterboxd, is just Shang-Chi, which I'm like, dang, she's a really good actress.
Hopefully she's going to get some more stuff after this, because she was really good.
I'm so used to something saying and introducing.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street and introducing Johnny Depp.
They did the same thing with, like, I don't know if it was like Jodie Turner-Smith's first movie with Daniel Kaluuya, that Bonnie and Clyde movie. But that's one of the first things I saw her in. They were like, and introducing her. But yeah, she was really good. I wonder if she did a lot of the fight scenes. It looked like she did, given like the choreography of all the fights. Queen of Slim. Thank you, Nathan, with the deep plug. Nice.
I was like, fucking, I gotta get it.
Which is a good movie. But yeah, seeing her interact with Shang-Chi, just instantly relatable character, saying like, you left me for my father.
Also a better fight than just having Abomination.
Yeah, and dude, then the fight, like, I love how she comes back, and like that whole scaffolding fight was so cool because
loved it.
They didn't give away the best parts of that, and they had that super cool one take where Awkwafina's on the pole.
We lost our minds. We were watching that in the theater,
dude.
Oh my god!
I'm like, isn't it so refreshing to see shit in the camera, and it's like all planned out that he's like running through the little thing and like knocking the. Oh,
I love how you guys were watching like the technicalities of the filmmaking while I was watching the scene. I was like, "Fucking yeah, run friendship." I was,
I was both. I'm like, I love all these people. They were going back a little bit. I instantly realized the fight choreography was going to be different, even straight up from the bus scene. Like, granted, we saw that all in the
trailer. When it cuts to the outside of the bus and it's on like a dolly, and it's just like going through, and you see him fighting through the window.
You see him fighting, like when he slides and he comes around the side of the window.
I'm like, swings on the mirror, and
yeah.
So cool. Simu tweeted like a BTS of that today. Of him,
I retweeted that. I'm like,
doing it real.
That's so cool.
It's so good. That whole fight was so fun.
It was so much fun because we saw it in the trailer, and like Carson said, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a basic bus action sequence.
Yeah, and I was worried,
my god, this was cool.
I was worried we got the best of it when he did the fucking double kick in the air.
Yeah, boom, boom.
I was like, oh, it's so good. That was probably it. And he's fucking like everything.
Speaking of the fights, we got to get to the music. Oh my god, the score for this movie, man, it was killer. It was badass, and whenever the fight sequences happen, I'm just like, oh, this movie is getting great. But yeah, going back to the scaffolding thing, like when he was doing,
that's what it is.
We didn't get sponsored by whoever sings that freaking song. But that one shot, and he's trying to rescue Awkwafina, and like the stakes are so high, and then his sister comes out, grabs him. just she comes back and be like, thanks for coming back. Like
Then
not
they're
like
fighting
you.
together,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh,
Beautiful. It was just so cool. And then we get what is the name? Is it Death Dealer, the guy with the mask?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What,
Also, real quick on like the Abomination Wong thing, final
Mhm.
thing. Wong just takes.
Oh yeah, we didn't mention that. Yeah.
He just takes him from his prison to just spar, just cause.
Which is weird. They presumably go back to the sanctum or something.
No, it looked like a metal prison. So
Okay.
I imagine it's a raft or something. It's definitely like somewhere he's been held.
Because next we will see Abomination in
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk. So I wonder if Wong's going to be in She-Hulk. Probably not.
I read an article that Tim Roth did some voice work for Shang-Chi, and I was like, all right. It barely
Sure.
talks.
Yeah, he grunts.
Like 3 words max.
Yeah. Get that paycheck, Tim.
Hey. I was wondering, like, is he gonna be the fucking end credits?
Yeah, nope.
What's everybody hyping up about? Which we'll get to.
Yeah, that fight was just so short, but I like seeing Wong later at the end. But yeah, seeing their sister rescue them, and then we get the awkward family dinner at home, which I'm always a big fan of awkward family dinners in movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
It was just super awkward with the father just sitting there with the 2 kids and Awkwafina. And I'm just like, yeah, this is
dude.
Good.
And then like the mom comes up, and they start talking about like, and you can see Moo's performance instantly changes of like, Dad, like I think he calls him Dad finally, and he's like, Dad, she's gone. Like,
let her go. Yeah.
But also,
yeah, Nathan.
The dinner discussion about it's an Iron Man 3 sequel.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved this part.
Which also clicked in my brain again earlier. There's an Easter egg when Shang-Chi is walking through the tournament for the Abomination Wong fight. One of the scufflers like going on in cages. One of them has extremis. Like they're like
yes.
And I was like, it's fucking Iron Man 3.
Like Extremis is still around. Like, isn't that guy gonna blow up?
Well, no, if it regulates properly, it's good.
Okay.
I know they removed it from Pepper because Tony figured that out. Off screen.
Interesting.
But
yeah, he explains the whole Iron Man 3 thing. He was like, yeah, a couple years ago, there was a guy. Yeah.
And even like the name of the Mandarin, which comes from the comics, he was like, name me after a chicken dish. Like,
yeah, that was
like,
very funny.
This is intense. It was like also like at this moment when I'm sitting here, I'm like, fuck, I didn't rewatch All Hail the King. But it's fine. You can access it on Disney Plus, by the way. But
it was just really good in the scene because he carries around this aura of intimidation. Like when he came to him on the scaffold, he was like, "I sent every person to kill you. I knew they wouldn't." And he just scared shit.
It's so wild because like every time he's like on screen, most of the time he's like never like shouting or vocal, and he's never like really ever does much that's like, oh, he did fucking gruesome shit. Like, oh, watch out. You just like
just says like, it, dude. Yeah, just
or not even. He's just like there, and you just like have that sense like, yeah, he has power. Like,
because you see him
so
carrying the rings the whole time. You're like,
we know what the fuck those can do. Yeah,
this guy can destroy the whole world if he really just wanted to. And man,
this immortal being. But yeah, he's talking about Iron Man 3 thing. Then he talks about his mother, like Carson said, and just gets very sympathetic and very. This is why, I just love the villain so much. He's just so compelling, and the crux of his motivation is just love. Like he just loves his wife, and he thinks that he can revive her. What's wild is like to a point, I'm just like listening, and before he gets to the point of like, we'll destroy the village if we have to. Before he even says all that, it's just like, I fucking buy what he's saying. Like, yeah, let's fucking save this person. Like,
me too. I was buying into it too. I was like, oh, let's.
I was like, is he not an actual villain?
I was like, oh, is his mom is calling to him? Then like, what's the bad thing here? What's going on here? What's so bad about this?
Twist of like what happened. I was like, how did,
Yeah, I totally thought like because usually when somebody gets killed off screen, like the mom did at least early on, I was like, oh, so she's gonna come back and she's gonna be alive in that new realm or whatever. She's gonna be alive the whole time. But no, like she died protecting Shang-Chi from some random thugs, which was it just felt so real to me. Because this movie is so mystical and everything, but she really risked her life fighting like 20 dudes, which is freaking awesome.
And then later, like when Wu calls him out on it when they're fighting, it's just like you just stood back and
You just
watched.
stood back and watched.
And I'm like, who is this? Jin Sakai? But no, but it's like it's just a child, even more so than fucking Jin, because like this is a tiny boy.
Yeah, it was so heartbreaking because she was like, or it was just some people coming over to fight Wen Wu because he owed them some debt. It just felt so down to earth in a movie that's such a there's dragons and everything and demons and it's like this guy owed us a debt. So
and it's crazy because you also know like she doesn't have her power,
no,
but she still like does her stance stuff. And it seems like she could probably handle these like 5 dudes, but then fucking 20 more show up and
it's like no.
And they don't explicitly show it, which I appreciate because you don't have to. Implications are impactful.
Thank God, yeah.
Why is my Star Wars rated R?
Yeah, if this was a South Korean film, it would have been like, yeah, we're showing everything.
Oh,
those movies are built different, but
oh my God.
Yeah, what cost? Like after I saw the one, what's it called, Carson? Mr. Vengeance.
Sympathy for Mr.
Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance. Yeah, that movie's brutal and horrifying. But yeah, I just liked the mother so much, and I liked Wen Wu. And that goes into one of the shocking things about this movie was Wen Wu thinking he's listening to her, and I kind of bought into it as an audience member until they go to the Great Protector world and like, no, like your father's being manipulated by this ancient evil force. What?
It's Doc Ock syndrome.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good comparison because both of them are not really being mind controlled. They're being manipulated. But
the arms are red. They're in control.
Yeah.
The rings are blue.
It's a suggestive nudge.
It's still their inner thoughts. It's still their inner wants of what they wanted to do.
They were swayed the wrong way.
Exactly, they were just swayed the wrong way. And that's kind of it's not a big criticism, but the whole alien thing does get a little out of the blue.
I don't think it was an alien thing.
Not alien, you know what I mean? Like the whole monster thing, the whole monster fight scene. I didn't really expect that. I thought the whole end scene was going to be just him fighting his father.
I did too.
But actually, I did like the execution of it.
Oh yeah, I mean mythical creatures. It's
yeah, it worked.
Where we get our own Sisu, Carson.
Yeah.
yeah, dude, that was so cool. And like, I was like worried that it was gonna go a little off the rails, but I'm just Tony Leung's up on the thing, like pounding, and then we gotta like do all this stuff, and I'm like, oh my God. And then those cool Demogorgons are like flying out of the thing. I'm like, holy shit!
You know, people's souls. I was like, oh damn, okay, they're doing that. Okay.
I mean, do you agree that Wen Wu flies like Azula?
Yes. The way they traversed using the 10 rings is so badass. Like,
ring bender.
I cannot wait for them to use their 10 rings in other situations and other future movies because they're just so cool.
Oh, and this movie is straight up like element bending. Like,
yeah, we have the mother using air bending, just not getting touched the whole time. It was very cool. A mix between air and water.
Air and water, yeah.
Yeah.
We go against fire and earth.
Yeah, and Wen Wu was straight up fire, just like pounding.
Wild. Hey, but let's back it up. We got locked in prison after that fight with Dad. And who's in there? Morris.
Oh yeah,
Who's in there? Trevor Slattery.
Some of the comedy admittedly didn't work, but he did grow on me as the movie went on. I think his best one was like when he was like laying there dead. He was like, "Just shut up, I'm laying there dead."
I love that because that's exactly what I would do.
Me too.
Like absolutely play a dead body.
I was like, "Did he die?" Like, "Oh no, he's just totally playing dead," which was hilarious. But yeah, Ben Kingsley really serving up that comedy role.
It's insane that like he played the false face Mandarin in Iron Man 3, and then now in the movie where we have the real Mandarin. Like he's also here, and it's wild.
They really jar-jarred him up by saying like, "Oh yeah, he's just a circus act that nobody cares for anymore."
I care, man. I care.
I was like, "Damn."
I was amused. Ironically, when I was sitting in the theater for Iron Man 3 as a wee lad in my teens.
Back in Iron Man 3.
Back on Iron Man 3, I was like before the twist of the fake Mandarin thing. When it seemed like he was a real terrorist, like I was watching it, I was like, I'm actually fucking kind of scared. This looks like real terrorism footage.
You'll never see me coming.
So fucking good.
Great.
Even in
Great
that
trailer.
movie, he was talking about appropriation of fucking Chinese food and fortune cookies.
Man, that trailer for Iron Man 3, dude.
Unmatched.
Dude. Unrivaled.
Both of them are pretty great.
You will never see me coming. I'm like, this
Man,
movie's going to be the
man,
best ever.
Phase 2 trailers hit different.
They do. That Winter Soldier trailer, man.
Oh, man.
Fucking even Thor: The Dark World was like.
And, of course, nothing tops There Are No Strings on Me. I'm like, chills. But, yeah, the Shang-Chi fight in the whole Tao Lo action sequences are very cool. Some parts were very CGI heavy, but just him fighting his father at the end there, when the father is just like destroying the door as the demons are escaping, but he's not even looking at the demons. He's just like trying to reach for his wife. He keeps hearing her. The door is really bigger than I thought it was.
It's a scale door.
Yes, scaled door, which was insane. Before that, we see Shang-Chi fighting his father like across the waterway, and then his father's like, "What?" Uses all 10 rings to his chest and just pushes him into the water. I'm like, "Damn!"
Oh yeah, I was waiting for that too because I was again from the fucking trailer. I knew like we gotta get to the water, we gotta get to the fucking dragon, get that power.
Not Fing Fang Foom.
No, which I didn't expect it to be.
Yeah, me neither.
That's a villain that we must save.
But yeah, we get an awesome moment for Shang-Chi when underwater. That was really cool.
It was really cool. Him just like being unconscious, floating down. I think I heard a kid in my audience saying like, "Oh, he's dead."
Oh.
I was like, well, no, it didn't sound as awe. It was more just like,
Shut up.
Shut up, watch the movie, you idiot. You know how movies work. Stupid.
Nathan picks him up, just throws him like, "Shut up."
fucking overturn a table as a child. Jesus. All right, whenever I animate these fucking bits,
You throw him with the 10 rings. Like, get over here. But anyways, yeah, that was really cool. The two dragons fighting each other.
Yeah, like the air starts to like flow into himself.
Oh yeah, good water effects in this movie. Yeah,
really, water effects are great now.
Pixar.
Also earlier when like the fucking like room flooded with water that then like was in the air.
Loved that.
Really good. And it was funny because like I'm watching, I was like, oh, it looks so good. And then like it started to like disappear and like fade away. And then that's my brain was like, wait, this was a set that didn't have water. That looked like real fucking water. Hold on. But also not to discount like the fight between Wenwu and Shang-Chi in the empty house, like while they're going back and forth, was also really cool.
In the empty house, at the end of the movie.
No, before before the water and everything.
Oh yeah, but before
as soon as the forces start, they're just like stop them.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
And they have like great words back and forth, but it's like
dude, and the whole thing of taunting him of like you stood by and did absolutely nothing. Dude, he's like fucking 7. Like
I know.
Yeah, he's 7. Like he couldn't have done anything. Like he's feeling pain too, but he's moved on and you haven't. And also, like, you can tell the dad feels guilty because, like we said earlier, he hung up the rings. Like, if he had the rings, they wouldn't have pressed up on his family home like that. But they did. They might have.
If he had, well, I don't know if they know. Like, if he had the rings, he still wasn't there at that moment. I think that's the point.
That's a good point too. Yeah, like it's inevitable. It's an absolute point in time.
Hey, whoa.
Absolute event. We kind of see this coming, but Shang-Chi gets the best of both worlds, where he's trained from the ways of the Great Protector, but also from his the Ten Ring style from his father, and so it's like wow.
So it's like he has like the mythic style to be able to control the rings, but also manipulate them in the way that his mother manipulated the elements. Also, with the dragon stuff, I thought it was just gonna be like, all right, cool, dragon shot, your inner power unlocked, here we go. I didn't know he was gonna fucking ride the thing into battle.
He's riding it Game of Thrones, Daenerys style. That was really awesome.
And it's flying.
And dude, the aunt is like grinning. See, like she's like
loved
all
it
coming together.
Oh, we didn't really shout out the aunt. The aunt is a great character, Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah, they had that great scene, like that training scene. like before the battle starts. I really like that scene.
Yep, training him on the ways of the Great Protector. He's like, yeah, my father's pretty powerful. How do I stand a chance against him?
I love the Shang-Chi suit.
Oh, so good. Great character design. Love
Really
that.
good.
Yeah, and they create the sleeve so it gives open room for the rings.
Gift from his mother to both of them.
Oh yeah, she had an awesome outfit too. It was like, wasn't it hers like silver and black?
Yeah, it was like black, silver, white.
Dope.
It's really good. It's player 2. I'm kidding.
And like we mentioned earlier, Aquafina does get a chance to shine here, where she gets denied earlier, but then she helps out against the evil,
I like
evil
her outfit
demon.
too.
Yeah, she looks really cool.
Katie.
Katie for the win. Hashtag Katie.
I have a friend named Katie, so it's funny.
Nice. Oh yeah, you do. Yeah. I don't think I have a friend. But anyways, yeah. Then we get the evil dragon.
All I heard was, "I don't think I have a friend."
No, I don't think I have a friend named Katie.
Right.
Yeah.
But it stopped. I was like,
yeah, I went more. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, the evil dragon. I didn't expect to be like a big thing for as long as it was.
I was watching, and I was like, it was getting to a point where like it just seemed so hectic. I was like, that's an Avengers level threat. But no, it got so hectic. My brain was like, with what we have right now, how can we stop this legitimately on our own? I was like, are we gonna get help from Wong? And I hope that like it doesn't diminish from the story right now, but it didn't.
Same. We didn't mention the father gets killed by the evil dragon thing.
Okay,
that was whoa. That surprised me because I thought the whole time like, oh, either the father's gonna live and repent, or like he'll die of old age or something, or like
Shang-Chi would have beat him. Yeah, it was such a good death scene.
What my brain was
death scene.
What my brain was thinking was, okay, he jumped through to tackle Shang-Chi to save him from the monster. I like literally in my brain as I'm watching, I'm like, fucking redemption arc, let's fucking go.
Let's go. Yeah.
And then he got picked up, and I was like, that's when I said it, when he got picked up, I was like, let's go, let's break out. And then fuck.
And for me, even when he got his soul taken, I'm like, oh, okay, so when they defeat the dragon, all the people's souls will come back and yippee-ki-yay, we win. But none of the souls came back
we can reverse this.
Yeah.
No.
None of it was a
We have a funeral.
At the end of the fight, we're just like, let's have a funeral. I'm like, damn, so many people died.
Before that, also
that was a great death scene.
The fight between Shang-Chi and Wenwu, where he's like knocking around and he's using his mother's style, and he's like when he converted the 5 rings.
Oh my god, dude, that was fist pumping.
I was like, oh, and then like it kept going, and I was counting as best I could. I was like, he's gonna convert
5, 6.
7. I was like, but no, I think he just did like the other 5 again, and they're all just like going around him. Like they've chosen. Like, I was like,
dude, Simo was so good. Like he was so confident in that moment. I was like, oh, I love this.
Yeah.
Every time he got the upper hand in the fight, I was just like, yes.
Yeah, that was the fist pump moment of the movie where he's just like turns it around on him and his ass like, oh shit.
And then it's just like you think he's gonna like go like fucking ham with them, and he just fucking on the ground.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I was like, shit. Superhero movie being profound.
And the look his dad gives him when he's getting his soul taken beforehand, he's just like, it's still heartbreaking.
Makes the whole arc just.
He just like you're good. It's like, it was good. It was a good scene. And the way Simu Liu reacts to his death, I'm like, this is heartbreaking. This is a guy he feared his whole life, but also respected in a way and sympathized with in regards to his mom. I'm like, damn, this hit.
And he gets picked up by the dragon and his sister, and the sister's looking back at his corpse.
Yeah, I was interested to see how she was going to react because they had kind of 2 different relationships with her father, and she isn't as sad as Shang-Chi is at all.
Still taking it back though.
Yeah, she was shocked. Yeah, of course, but
and then we go to defeat this dragon demon in like a way that I was just like, oh shit. Like, it wasn't just, like, blasting fucking rings. No, the fucking rings were, like, swallowed and, like, ripped out.
Like, bursting inside
when he was in the air and he, like, slammed it down on his chest, I was like, let's go. It was so cool. He literally, like, was in the air and just, like, zoom. That was...
Bazoink.
It's funny because like as like the movie was going through, I was like, this is a fairly like chill, like well choreographed, but fairly chill superhero movie. And it was like fucking dragons,
demon
oh,
suckers,
shit.
yeah, life suckers. That was dope.
Mythical. It was
Oh,
so
dude!
well
Shout out to the lion things. I love the lions.
them.
And the one little bit where it's the lion stomps on that or just eats that guy. Me and Kelly, that was our biggest laugh in the entire movie. Is that when that lion
Dude,
ate
so
the guy?
good. I already love them, like seeing them in the trailer because I know they're like ancient lion designs, like made real, from the art style. But like seeing them real, I'm like, fuck, I want one. Like, so cool.
I know. I'm like, I want to go pet the damn lion.
But yeah, I think what should we get into after this? Everybody died, or most of the people that died.
We have a beautiful funeral send off, and then we're recounting this story to the that we saw,
which is very funny. Great scene.
Okay.
And then homeboy Wong shows up, right?
Yeah, he shows up, and I'm like,
oh.
I was like, oh shit, my fucking Marvel sequel instincts.
Guys, there's a multiverse of madness happening. We need your help.
I don't think they're going to be in Multiverse of Madness.
Me neither, not at all.
But
They'll
I think
have their own quest.
I think it'll be for the bigger, overarching Avengers style team up and Shang-Chi 2 to have connections with Wong and stuff. But
for sure. Let's talk about these post credits.
Let's talk about it. At first, Wong's talking to somebody, and I was like, Doctor Strange here right now? But then it cuts over.
I was for sure that was Doctor Strange. For sure.
My jaw was on the floor.
Oh yeah, the voice
banner.
the voice started, and I was like,
Mark Ruffalo. Oh my
god! That's Mark Ruffalo.
The guy from Spotlight.
No.
The guy from Dark Waters.
What are y'all doing?
The Zodiac! Oh my god!
What is this joke spawning from?
All the clickbait Screen Rant. Okay, not Screen Rant. I was like comicbook.com. I can't remember.
I don't know why. I was just going off of what Carson was doing.
No, it was an article. It was like biggest reaction ever from
Mark Ruffalo from 13 going on 30.
I still need to see that movie.
All I was thinking is the Gamma, so that it would be the best suited to. Because anytime I'm like, this motherfucker's been at it like 12 years in this role, and he's had to say all this science shit of like, oh, the signature of this.
He doesn't always talk about fucking Gamma.
It looks like it's coming from Wakanda.
No, it couldn't be.
Wakanda.
Okay.
Anyways.
Focus up, ladies, please.
Yes.
All right.
Oh.
He still has a cast on.
Oh yes, no. I was intrigued because at first I was like, "Fuck, Bruce," who looks older. I was like, "Bruce, you're human."
Yeah.
And your arm is still fucked up from the snap. Interesting. But then I feel like I shouldn't have caught this like as soon as I did. But I was like, he's got a fucking watch that's going.
She-Hulk.
No. I'm just like fucking. Can he like tap like onto Hulk like manually through his fucking?
It's a Ben 10 watch actually.
Exactly. Yes. It's Ben 1.
I would love it.
But I thought, hey, cool. And then it panned over. Fucking the Queen herself.
She's back.
Brie Larson. She's back.
Ooh. Filmed. Her hair was in such a mess. I'm like, when did they film this? I'm like, Brie Larson.
Brie Larson in her bedroom, waking up from like playing her Nintendo Switch, just like
come on, hurry. Come across the street.
Have they started filming? I feel like they've started filming.
I think
the Marvel
pre-production.
No, because like there was a dinner photo of like the cast and them like having.
Are they officially started? I think they have actually. I think
when does that movie come out? November.
November, yeah.
I think so. But yeah, I could see that filming now. So it's probably like she's like working on the Mars, and maybe her hair's a mess from the chaos because she also got called away. Really.
And I'm like, what are the implications of Miss Marvel? Oh my god, where does she have to go to?
Okay, I didn't get this fucking crazy. I feel like we're memeing now.
I actually was curious by it.
They started filming in August.
I didn't mean that to be facetious. I was genuinely curious. I'm like, oh my god, I'm kind of excited to see what is going on.
Yeah, this was very exciting. Yeah.
No, it was really cool. And they're basically like welcoming aboard to like the Avengers. Also,
so
just seeing Captain Marvel and Bruce Banner, I was like, fucking This is our first like real look at like post
Yeah.
Avengers, post
Yeah.
Endgame. Like
It was so cool.
I'm like,
'cause,
what's the group? Tell me.
like, of course, because prior to like Endgame, people were thinking, what's going to be our main leaders for the Avengers? And of course, I always thought of Rest in Peace Black Panther as being like the new leader of the Avengers.
Mhm.
Me too. I thought it
But
was going to be Black Panther, Doctor Strange, and Captain Marvel.
easily. And I always thought, I was like, okay, those are going to be our main guys. I think even Feige thought that too. But Captain Marvel works as well.
And we have a new Captain America now.
We have a new Captain America. We have a new Captain Marvel. So I think we're set.
Wong's fucking tight in on this. That's cool.
I thought we were getting an Illuminati thing because I thought it would be like Bruce Banner, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, some other smart people in the room, but it was just those two.
Illuminati is rumored for Multiverse of Madness.
Of course they are. What else isn't rumored for Multiverse
Well, Strange
of
is a
Madness?
big fucking hand in the Illuminati in the comics. So.
Wait, what? Why are we talking about the Illuminati?
It's a group in the Marvel comics.
Because I thought the Illuminati were going to be.
It's made of people like Doctor Strange, Professor X, Reed Richards.
Okay, so it's not a conspiracy theory thing.
No, it's not.
No.
Fucking Namor.
I thought you knew we were talking about. My bad. Yeah.
No, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, to any new like person, they'd be like, fucking the eye.
No, I'm like thinking of like the triangle. I'm like, does he got like? Okay, never mind.
No.
The eye from Mark Ruffalo's Now You See Me.
Yeah, Illuminati played a big role in Marvel's 2015 Secret Wars event. But yeah, this was interesting because they were asking Captain Marvel about the rings, and apparently when Shang-Chi converted the rings and used it for the first time against Wenwu, they started sending out some kind of signal, a beacon of hope. No, I'm kidding. A beacon, and this is very interesting because Captain Marvel first says like, it's not from any alien whatever that I know of.
Like Chitauri or
so.
Or
if we take her for granted, because she's very smart and she knows a lot of aliens, this isn't coming from some kind of intergalactic realm.
Makes me think like, who did forge these rings? Like, is it calling to somebody that like?
Well, that's the mystery because like mystically,
yeah.
Wong doesn't know. Intergalactically, Carol doesn't know. Scientifically, Bruce doesn't know.
Bruce doesn't know. Yeah,
exactly.
It's three different things.
We
like,
are kind of like, at least I think me and Evan were thinking a theory that it's probably in ties to the Eternals, which I would believe.
I think so.
Oh, in terms of the
creation of the rings and something, because
calling out,
calling out as well, because like
what did they call it in the trailer? The disturbances started, or the
emergence, resurgence, something like that.
So it could be tied into that or something?
But that's doing with celestial being on Earth is growing. Yeah. It's going to destroy the Earth when it hatches.
Right.
But it did say like there was a time span. I think it was like 6,000 or 7,000 years ago,
7,000, I think.
Which lines up directly with or close to at least when the Eternals first came to Earth. So this could have a very close tie into it. But otherwise, I have no clue how this affects. I
can see it. I mean, since Eternals is the next property.
Yeah, and the rings, don't the rings make you immortal? So I mean, like, there's that whole deal.
Which is going to be interesting for Shang-Chi. Do we think he's going to be wearing the rings a lot? I don't think he was wearing them when he was on that date, but
I think so because, like, he said he had them on him when Wong showed up.
Could have been in his pocket.
No, yeah, he's carrying them. He's not like
wearing them.
But I mean, I think with him wearing them in the final battle with this suit, I was like, this is definitely like Shang-Chi's power set.
You suit up to do it, but he's not wearing it.
Yeah, no, he's not like his father obsessive. Hell, if anything, he could probably just call them to him now.
Yeah.
Because the rings are just so fucking powerful. I'm like, who can do
They really
this guy?
are. Like they really give Shang-Chi like fucking boost.
So I wonder like how they're gonna. I mean, this happens with every new MCU hero. Like Captain Marvel, how are you gonna beat her? Thor,
right.
How is he gonna beat him at this point? Because Thor, at least in Thor 4, he's gonna be like the strongest we've ever seen him. So like, how is Shang-Chi gonna be beaten?
Yeah, like what's the villain gonna be in the next movie that like really beats him up? Because not
another dragon.
It's fun. What's funny? It's funny because like in like another time period, I know we like joke about like fucking Ant-Man, even like before people joke about Ant-Man, but it's like fucking his power shit. Seen from What If, like he could do.
He could do some damage.
He could kill us all.
So I mean, I trust Kevin Feige. I trust the writers. Whenever there's a super powerful character, and I trust like it gets into character a lot. But Shang-Chi himself, I don't think even without the rings, we saw how badass and powerful he was. So he doesn't even need the rings. Granted, he also got the Great Protector training as well, so he doesn't really need the rings. But I think in danger, he will definitely use the rings to his advantage.
I think it's also like a thing of like with these power sets, it's not really a matter of like they're so fucking strong. It's more along the lines of like they are so fucking strong, but it's the characterization that leads us on their path.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like he's not going to be destroying kingdoms because he doesn't want to or need to or anything like that.
Yeah.
Similar to like Doctor Strange in the Eye of Agamotto, it's like how can he be beaten? He can just reverse time.
But if Luke could go ham, what would that look like? Give me an R-rated movie.
Where's my Darth Vader show?
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, second post-credit scene. This was also surprising.
Also, well, hold on, because we
went
we went to karaoke with Juan, which was
that was awesome. Great. That killed my audience. Yeah. We were dying.
Yeah, what the fuck? Like that was funny. But also with like the description that came out from the fucking premiere, I was like, okay, so maybe in credit scene 2 is where we're gonna freak our shit.
I told y'all.
Yeah, but I thought you were just fucking
being Carson.
Lame. No, kidding.
Kang the Conqueror called the rings and he summoned the scroll.
No, my brain was because even like when we were with Wong, I was like fucking like Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah,
watch us see the rings in Loki, and it's like, oh yeah, look at these paperweights.
Holy shit! They
would be.
They would be. I know.
Imagine if Wanda could wield the rings. Like,
oh god.
Oh my god! I want to see the fucking
astral projected fucking reign of terror of rings.
I don't think we're ever gonna get that. I think we're just gonna
give her the Earth.
I don't think we're ever gonna get it. I think we're gonna have the Strange and Wanda fight, and we'll fucking settle our differences. We're not gonna have evil Wanda anymore.
Like Mr. Sunday movie says, we fight and then they're mates. Good old trope. But yeah, that karaoke thing, I was in tears. That was very funny. Very funny scene.
And it was at that moment I was like, "Fucking, I would watch a Wong spinoff. Like we've got, like I'm dead ass. Like I totally.
Wong's great. Benedict Wong is just awesome. He's like, I'm totally on board to come in this movie. It's a very Asian-led cast. I definitely want to have my say in this movie. So I'm glad he had a good role in this movie.
Oh, by the way, when Wong like comes to them at the dinner and there's just a close up on his face, just like "Let's go," that's in marketing right now.
Oh my god!
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It kind of sucks.
That's weird.
It really does. Never watch a TV spot. Just never do it.
But number two.
Carson's spoiler.
Oh my god. They're making a sequel to the movie. Shocker.
I wasn't spoiled. I was surprised. I was like...
That's not... You don't know what the sequel is, though.
For me, I was
They're going to make a Ten Rings movie that's not... Shang-Chi's not going to be in the movie. It's really a Ten Rings movie.
I never assumed a Ten Rings movie. You just said this... You said the Ten Rings will return, and in my brain, I'm like, fucking the organization.
It's so weird to me, because I heard Shang-Chi will return. I guess I blanked out what Carson was saying. But I totally thought, I was like, oh, duh, there's going to be a Shang-Chi too, because Shang-Chi will return. He's not dying in the first movie.
Right.
Which I knew.
But I didn't expect the Ten Rings, because earlier in the movie, we didn't say it, but towards the end of the movie, they're like, what's going on with the Ten Rings? And Shang-Chi was like, oh, yeah, the sister is dismantling everything. Right. It's not going to be an issue anymore.
No.
Not the case. Not the case at all. She's rebuilding. I mean, she's dismantling it, creating something new.
Yeah. So I don't know what kind of organization it's going to be. Like, is it
the Nine Rings?
What?
That was pretty good. Come on.
The No Rings.
No rings.
Because we see like the graffiti up there, like finally women can train, and she's sitting on her throne, which is like kind of weird. She's
mirroring Wenwu in the opening.
So hopefully there'll be like an alliance between them, and maybe it'll be like keeping the peace between like that organization fighting crime and then making sure that the place is like safe or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because also I feel like it's framed to seem
malicious,
for some reason, villainous, but I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either. Because I'm like,
I think it's her just reclaiming it because she was stuck there, you know.
Yeah. And with the way the music was going, I was like, fucking Ten Rings, yeah.
I was like, hell yeah, you do that shit. You created your own organization at 16. Now your dad's dead, and you're using his resources to create something new out of it. I'm like, that sounds awesome to me.
The same way, like, I freaked out at like Endgame for having an army composed of sorcerers, Ravengers, Wakandans, and Asgardians. Like, we're gonna get to another Endgame level event. I'm gonna be like, fucking the 10 Rings are here. Like,
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
dude.
right. That would be dope. Imagine
That would
seeing
be-
like the Ten Rings coming through the cavalry. You hear the Shang-Chi soundtrack come on. You're like, oh shit.
but yeah, fucking imagine it's like fucking Senior Avengers, Young Avengers, Eternals,
And
10 Rings.
yeah, dude, it makes me think too of like,
Oh, that'd be
God,
so cool.
we use this term all the time of like, because literally this centuries old staple of power, like what is the power vacuum gonna be in terms of like, I feel like some people are gonna be after the organization a little bit in terms of the resources, and maybe that plays into the second movie in terms of the relationship between Shang-Chi and his sister of like, you know, maybe there's some conflict there of like, hey, like you put a target on your head by, you know, basically taking dad's thing, and I know you're trying to do good, but like we got all this on our back now, and I can't focus on this, and you know, like.
And I'm already trying to be an Avenger.
Yeah,
Oh, that's gonna
exactly.
Be so cool.
That's what I got in terms of like, oh dang, that could be cool.
Yeah, I was driving away. I'm like, I have no idea where they can use this in future movies besides like a big ensemble.
I'm just glad the
piece.
sister is gonna be a part of it. You know.
Me too, because I think
yeah.
she's still every scene that she was in.
Yeah.
Had a great time with her. But yeah, overall, I loved this movie. I give it like a 4 out of 5. It's definitely top half of the MCU for me, for sure, for sure. I think it's probably my favorite first outing for an MCU character besides Black Panther. Besides Black Panther, I think Black Panther's like top tier MCU movie.
Well, Black Panther's first outing was Civil War.
Yeah, because then it gets tricky.
You know what I
like,
mean? First outing, like first solo movie.
Okay.
Like in terms of like an Ant-Man 1, a Doctor Strange 1, or
what
Cap
about from
1.
the stance of character introduction then?
Ooh,
Queens.
no.
Queen's
probably it's good. No. Probably my favorite. Probably my favorite character introduction. We shall see. I'm not sure.
All right, but Shang-Chi, it's good.
It's good. I think we liked it. I guess.
Yeah, I
my
really
second
liked
favorite movie of the year. Yeah, you know.
I saw that rating. I'm like, you know what? I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, finally, finally,
I get it.
Dad sees me.
But I just Wen Wu was a great villain. A movie can really help me by having a great villain. I think Tony Leung. I need to watch all his fucking movies because he was great.
Yeah, he's in like 5. You know who Wong Kar-wai is? He's done Chungking Express, Fallen Angels,
Angels Fallen.
In the Mood for Love. I think he's in like 5 of those things. Like he's in
awesome.
everything.
So before we end, who are you guys excited to see Shang-Chi team up with in the future? Because I can't wait to see him teaming up with somebody like on a ground level.
There's
like
some cool,
like the Dora Milaje and Shang-Chi together. Oh my god,
That'd be epic.
there's a
that'd be
cool,
so cool.
there's a cool adventure team up with Shang-Chi and Spider-Man.
Oh really?
That's what I was just gonna say. I think Peter and I think Tom and
'Cause
Simon would play after.
Isn't Shang-Chi like 25? Because he was born in 1996. Like that's my birthday. That's my birth year. That's
cool.
really cool. So like, is he 25 as well?
Remember, also in context, we're in the year 2023.
Oh, wow. Great
Just
point,
kidding.
Nathan.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, they're in or you're out at this point.
And was he dusted?
Oh, we don't know actually.
Fuck.
I assume he. Let's just say he.
Kevin Feige in his next interview. Fuck, we didn't think of that shit.
Okay, years later, all over again.
Because they used a lot of time period connection in this movie. It's like, well, when I was 14, I waited for you for 6 years, and 14 years later, I'm like,
whoa,
math.
whoa.
Yeah, I was like, write this down. So he was.
You gotta make that algebra for like.
He was 14, which makes him 25. But oh yeah, the time skip. I was like, oh shit. But he's in his mid to late 20s. So yeah, I would like to see him with Dora Milaje, Peter Parker, even Captain Marvel. Seeing that post credit scene, that'd be very cool. Cause I think he's such an energetic dude, and I think he can relate. I think he can relate to a lot of the other Avengers. That'd be really cool.
I love seeing like any Earth being with the Guardians.
Him and Peter would get along really well.
that'd be
I think.
great.
I feel like we're gonna see Eternals where we're like fucking Icarus and Shang-Chi.
Yeah, dude, that would be amazing.
I think probably fucking Doctor Strange. I mean, to him alone,
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, some sorcery discussion with the rings, like more of that shit. I'll eat it all up.
For sure. But yeah, I think that wraps it up.
Yeah, Carson's making sure Moon doesn't flash the camera.
Yeah, because he just.
Before we end, today was a very special day. It was the Dune worldwide premiere.
Oh,
Let's
I
go.
thought this was about the 50th episode, but all right.
But today's the Dune. People actually have seen Dune now.
Oh my god.
And I'm getting
I-
chills just reading the reaction because I really want to see this movie, and I want to see part 2 already.
I told you that.
And I'm just so I know I saw a great reaction. I want to see. I'm just so happy for Denis because he's my favorite filmmaker working right now, and to actually have people watch this movie now. I'm just.
Ash Crossan just tweeted. She's
yes.
like, my personal antidote with this is that I started crying halfway through because I felt as immersed as my dad taking me to the original Star Wars. I was like,
Wow.
ah!
I'm sold. Guys, I'm serious. I'm seeing this movie like 4 times opening weekend.
I'm going every
Thursday,
day.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yes.
And Nathan will be watching it in theaters first before he watches it.
Yes, he will. Right, Nathan?
You are an absolute mad lad.
Madman.
I'm not gonna.
I feel like-
hometown.
Why don't you just film a reaction right after, and then it's fresh in your mind?
I feel like me and
That's
Carson.
not. Nobody fucking likes that.
I feel like Carson
What do you
and I.
mean nobody likes that?
People want to see me fucking cry in the moment.
All right.
I feel like Carson
If
and
it's
I are
just
the
the end, and I'm
watchers.
just like already like dried tears, and I'm just like, oh, it was so good. That's a fucking review. That's not a reaction. Fuck off.
I feel like we're the watchers, and Nathan's making a terrible decision, but we can't do anything.
We can't
to
do
stop
anything.
him.
It's not terrible.
And it's pretty bad. So yeah,
Hans
yeah.
Zimmer's score through headphones. Oh.
Oof.
Good headphones. I'm wearing fucking cheap ass earbuds right now. Well, I mean, also I gotta like lock down a theater because like, I'm.
Hmm.
trying
Tickets are
to,
going to
like-
go on sale soon. Ooh, I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm gonna be at a different location, a theater I'm unfamiliar with, so I'm trying to like lock down.
I haven't bought a ticket like online like day one since Tross. So,
Really?
yeah, I don't usually do day one tickets.
Get that A-list reservation.
I don't have AMC near me. I'm a Cinemark stan for life. They have me up the asshole. Damn it,
Cinemark that
Cinemark in their close locations.
Yeah, I resist the Regal.
Yeah, I don't fuck with Regal.
Regal sponsor.
It's
Regal,
sad- it's
Regal
sad
leaves a
for me.
comment.
If they would just upgrade their theater by me, the light doesn't even work on the outside. It just says Hollywood Teeters. It says Hollywood Teeters. Come on, guys.
I've been to a Regal twice in my life. When I was a very,
Wow.
very young lad watching Casino Royale.
2006 is Casino Royale, right?
Yeah,
How
and
do
I
you
didn't
remember that?
and I
Oh my
didn't-
god.
because I also didn't know what the fuck I was watching. I
Yeah,
vividly,
that's true.
however, remember the
It's
fucking
like a core
ball-
memory now for you.
I know. I vividly remember the ball busting scene. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? I'm a child. I'm like,
Yeah, you were like 2 years old when that came out, right?
notoriously and weirdly, I don't like cheese, and which is odd.
Oh, I remember this.
But and like I'm a guy who fucking likes popcorn and shit. But like all the 2 other guys I was with, my friends at the time,
Cheddar popcorn.
No, fucking nachos, and I was
Oh.
like, fucking eat all the chips. Here we are.
Now my mouth is salty and I can't.
I notoriously had too much sour Skittles. Like I was a fucking idiot, and I dumped the sour from the end of the bag.
Oh!
And I fucked up my tongue so bad it hurt to eat. Like
That'll happen. I was just reading in chat real quick. The guy who was videotaping Shang-Chi in the bus was the same guy who told Spider-Man to do a flip.
yeah,
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Fun little cameo.
I was
Do a
watching. I
flip,
was like,
Spider-Man.
damn, dude had 4 cutbacks. Like
He was so funny though.
Yeah,
like,
he was pretty funny.
he was.
I would do the same thing.
My audience was eating up. Second time ever I went to Rio, Oz the Great and Powerful.
The what?
Oz the Great and
The
Powerful.
James
Oh,
Franco movie.
The Sam Raimi James Franco movie.
Sam Raimi directed Oz the Great and
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah. After
Yeah, swing and a miss.
I don't know.
Dang.
He wrote it.
the dang.
Oh, he directed it or wrote it?
He directed
He
it.
just directed it.
So that's his fault.
Well, it looked all right.
Good job, cinematographer.
But anyway, I didn't like the Regal.
Yeah. But yeah, fun episode, guys.
Yes.
We can go 30 more minutes. Let's hit that record.
I'm hungry.
Okay, cool.
I need real dinner, even though I was snacking on.
Moon's just licking his balls on camera. Like, jeez, bro.
Oh,
like,
man.
Get a room.
oh.
Fuck, you saving me a little shit.
Dang. Oh, wow. Okay.
He's doubling down.
Moon's like, what's going on?
What is this?
What is happening?
Carson,
Should I do my outro?
Carson,
Moon can't be
this
stopped.
after.
You can find me dealing with a literal child and on Twitter retweeting every single Dune tweet known to man at the Film Carson. I'm so hyped for this movie. And I can't wait to get my tickets in IMAX for day one. And, well, maybe Dolby. I don't know. No, I got to see it in IMAX first because of...
Didn't said IMAX.
Like 70% of it is filmed in IMAX. What am I? I'm stupid. Don't listen to me.
Don't
Go
let
listen
Josh get to you.
I'm being swayed. The
No!
Demogorgon behind the scale wall is tempting me. It's telling me.
wow.
Anyways,
Oh, hello. You can find me on Twitter at HarrisEV9. Yeah, like Carson, I'm buying Dune tickets as soon as they're on sale in every format known to man. Besides 3D, because 3D is garbage.
you gonna
and
see it in
deserves to die.
4DX.
Of course. Yeah, I want to get stand like in my face.
Stand
Like,
in your
my
face.
eye. But also, this is the last month of Big Brother 23. We have like 3 more weeks left. The last episode's like on the 29th, maybe 4 weeks. Fuck it. But this is also the same month that Survivor 41 starts. One
go.
goes and then another one begins, which is a shortened season because of COVID for 41 and 42 of Survivor.
But new challenges, Evan, or something. I can't.
New challenges, shorter days, new tribes. I'm super excited. I'm hyped. Survivor season is a great season. And yeah. Also, this was my first week of teaching, and I'm exhausted. Thank you. I'm
You
tired.
did it.
Yeah, I can't. I'm gonna sleep in so much tomorrow. I'm waking up like at 2:00. Can't
Oh,
wait.
nice.
I'll be like Nathan.
How are the middle schoolers? Are the middle schoolers already rowdy?
They're the devils of the earth.
Okay. They
Wow,
find the
it's
podcast.
Oh man,
Professor Evan.
They call the podcast.
Call me Professor.
They are amazing. I actually really like them a lot.
Nice.
I love the school. It's great. Please don't fire me. Nathan, where you at?
It's the wildest thing I can say right now for my outro. Yeah, you follow me at which fucking ad is it?
Underscore.
Underscore Nathan Rojas. Yeah, just writing poetry, streaming music,
Haikus
Haikus?
haikus. Yeah, I make haikus and go.
and watch haiku.
Yep.
Nathan, I thought your shirt said more like the Kylo Ren line, and then I realized it was your More Than a Fan shirt.
Yeah, it's my more. Yeah, it's my fucking tour date. Marvel.
Oh no.
It's got all the way up to Endgame on it, right? Or Infinity
All the
War?
way up to Far From Home.
Oh, Far From Home. Okay.
So it's the entire Infinity Zone. I need a new one. I need updates. But we can't lock down release dates, so it's impossible.
Yeah, you buy it, and then it's like, Black Panther moves to December.
Just cross it out.
Then I sell this shirt for more money because it's
There you go. Vintage.
vintage. Yeah, and painting my nails. That's what I do. So find us here. And with that being said, if you enjoyed our podcast,
I come before you today to ask you for one thing.
I had a little camera shake there. It was like, boom.
you should do it, and then one of us just fucking screams out of your face. The moon screams out of your face.